I was too busy editing the split screeners video, and I've been putting that off for far too long. Really, like, procrastination is a really hard animal to get rid of, because, like, finding the motivation is difficult for, like, editing sometimes, especially whenever you go through, like, a really stressful job that takes a lot of, like, your mental energy. Also, thanks again for that skin. Well, you're welcome, Blaze. I think it looks really good on you.
That Thrax woke on the right side of his crib today.
Well, he woke up on the right side of his crib, but you're also in the wrong audio channel there, Teshin, so thanks.
Sickening.
Remember, the joy he feels is not lacking in danger. Find the fable hidden and play it out. That way, you may discover the next paradox. The next piece we need.
I'm still kind of confused as to what Duviri actually is. Now, I know a fair bit of Warframe lore, but I'm still a bit confused.
Stand on your own 2 feet. Something's hidden nearby. You are going to find it. By yourself.
Oh, goody. Find the hidden royal chest. I mean, you could have at least told me what it looked like. I mean, it's like, by myself, yes, but, I mean, it's me. Like, even, like, the enemy would be frustrated at how much I wander aimlessly around trying to figure out where and what to do. But I'm just gonna kind of narrow it down and kind of do, like, a circular motion, go around, and then slowly do, like, a spiral inside until I find it. Because eventually, I'll find something. Oh, it's right over here. The game was just fed up with my BS and was just like, here, this is where it is. Or not? Unless this is like a separate location, like it's... Okay, I just need to take a second and just observe. Like, this is gorgeous. Like, all these patterns in the sky. It kind of reminds me of, like as a kid, when I would get, like, those bubble, like, water gun things, like bubble guns. And then you'd shoot the bubbles out, and then they made all these, like, patterns. And I know there's a term for it, like something that looks rainbow but isn't actually a rainbow. But that's kind of what it reminds me of. Find the hidden royal chests. Well, they're certainly hidden because I have no idea where... Oh, I think that's it right there. Yep. Oh, it's like a music box. Nice.
Someone toss this ragged beggar a coin.
Like a child hiding its face in play, Mathila hid from the truth. Nothing but joy mattered.
Yeah, I still gotta figure out the proper controls for, like, actually flying this thing. Because it was something like, double jump and then hold. Okay, there we go. It's like I say that I forget it and then I immediately get it, so... Okay, so I remember doing this last time. There's like a cave down here that I need to go to. Yeah, because I need to like go under this area. But still, like I've been saying, like, this doesn't feel like Warframe, and I think that's a good thing. Because it feels so drastically different from what you're used to. in Warframe, and I really think that's a positive change, because like before Warframe, like I think a big problem that I had with it initially was just that there were so many different things that they were adding that didn't really like fit necessarily, and like they would focus so much on adding all these new and interesting things and trying to like copy other developers and what they were doing, like the Nemesis system, that they weren't focused on actually like perfecting and fixing the things that were already there. And I think that was my biggest issue for the longest time, is that like they kept trying to be something they weren't. And I feel like with Rebecca, they've really kind of gotten their footing back, because like I will take any opportunity to dig into D.E. Steve as much as I can, because I really feel like he was bad for the game.
Or are you going to take action?
But that's just my opinion. I just see a big dark cloud and I'm just waving the swords around because I know that I'll eventually hit something. Okay, cool. I'm hoping that I get to keep these swords after I leave Duviri. Like, I don't think that it'll necessarily play out that way, just because of the way that the operators... Like, because I feel like being able to use the swords with the Drifter, like, in the regular Warframe gameplay, would kind of unbalance, like, and make the operator effectively useless.
Mathila did not understand that you cannot bring happiness to the world by making unhappiness a crime.
Enter the Undercroft. I haven't done the Drifter missions or Duviri. Yeah, so... The Drifter, if you don't... You can do Duviri, I think, from the get-go, but it's not recommended necessarily, just because it spoils a lot of plot points that the game had been building up to for the longest time. Like, I'd recommend at least, like, completing the second dream in the War Within. Because, like, bits of the Duviri Paradox, like this arm, for example, literally spoil the new war. Which is, like, one of the most important cinematic quests next to the second dream. But, like, so far, like, there's pros and cons for everything. Like, I really like the Drifter's gameplay. But I also like the Operator, too, because the Operator's really good at, taking out Eidolons on the Plains of Eidolon, but...
Paradox at bay, but the environment itself will fight to choke you out.
And I'm really a story-based guy, so I definitely recommend, like, playing through it properly. Because, like, if you just go straight to Duviri, you're losing a lot of context. And it's going to be really confusing. Because, like, the Drifter's existence on his own is, like, a big spoiler for how Warframe works, and, like, it effectively makes the second dream, like, not that surprising at all. Because it really just spoils, like, what the Warframes are and, like, what they're for. So that's one thing I do disagree with. I don't like how it just spoils, like, the main point of Warframe. But, you know, like, to each their own. Like, that's just coming from somebody who's played this game a lot. But I do like the drifters, like, get up a lot better than the operator. Because my operator's just basically Isaac Clarke from Dead Space. See, it would be great if I had my Helios, because I'd be able to do, like, scans on these enemies, because I'd love to be able to fight these in the Simulacrum. What's funny, Funny Pants? Yeah, but, like, Isaac from Dead Space. Yeah, Isaac Clarke from Dead Space, yeah.
Life support drop.
Or Dead Space from Isaac Clarke. Haha. Yeah, and I think, like, as a streamer, like, it's more fun to play this game. Because, like, as a YouTuber, it was a different story, because, like, I hyper-analyzed every little thing that was going on with Warframe. And it just, generally, it just made me think in a really toxic manner. So, like, I stopped seeing it for what it was, and I just kept thinking about what it could be. And that's something that I still struggle with, like, in everyday life, too, is, like, I want to be able to see things as they are, not what they could be. And that's something that I'm still working on. But I think, like, streaming and, like, starting fresh away from, like, my past mistakes in YouTube is, like, really opened my eyes a lot to things, and I'm enjoying games again, which is great. Because, like, before, it was really hard for me to find enjoyment and stuff, because I would only, like, look to critique it because of those videos I did. But now, like, I'm having a blast. Like, I love, like, I'm having a lot of fun playing this. And the fact that you and, like, you, Blazing, and, like, a bunch of other people that I'm streaming with and friends with are getting into it, like, that's awesome. Because it's, like, bringing back a lot of good college memories, because I played Warframe a lot when I was in college, and I stayed up many late nights playing nothing but Warframe and grinding in Fortuna. Which, I mean, honestly, I'd love to do that again. Because I've reduced my hours at work. You know, the money, like, it sucks that I won't have as much money, but, like, it's something that I need to do for my own mental health. Because, like, until I can get, like, out of that job and into something that's more manageable, like, I need to, like, limit my exposure to it as much as possible. Because while, like, it's great, and I'm appreciative that I have it, and I'm paid well, it's just, like, customers are just getting so much more aggressive, like, because, like, at my place of work, they're creating this thing called the Universal Associate, where, basically, like, they train one associate in multiple departments. So, say, like, a cashier could learn how to be a lumber guy, or a garden person, and, you know, that's fine and all, and I think they might get a pay raise, but the problem is that they're doing that because they realize that they don't have to hire multiple people for departments anymore, because they can just abuse their workers to do whatever they want.
I tried. I have all this joy in my soul, and yet
Because, like,
I tried to share it. Nobody wants to know.
because it's like, the reason that they're doing that is because, like, when COVID was the thing, like, companies realized, oh, we can run our stores on a skeleton crew. And that's how they function, is like, they realize they can run businesses on a skeleton crew and make more profits because they don't have to pay their employees benefits or wages. So that's why my place of business is so short-staffed, and it's usually only the self-checkout that's open, because they don't want to hire anyone else to do the work that we need. Because the corporate realizes, oh, we can make more profits if we don't hire people, because if somebody leaves out of frustration, we can just hire somebody else that's in the pipeline. And in my opinion, like, a 5-year-old could tell you that that is bullshit.
You found it. Good. So tell me, did Mathilla's joy wear off?
Oh, hi, InstaFizz! Good to see you! I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing?
You think I'm not paying attention? You think I don't know what you're up to? My darks are searching. We will find your nasty little den soon enough.
Can I just shove my sword into that guy's throat already? Like, I mean, I don't think he's gonna be reversing time if he can't even get the sword out of his throat, you know? But yeah, how are you doing, InstaFizz? Working on a lot of things? Alright. Well, I hope it's been going well. Like, I really had a lot of fun playing with you that one time.
Something, someone, some wavering oasis of joy and contentment. Sad thing is, most happiness seems to come by accident.
Oh, that's cool. Like,
maybe it's not about getting it.
It's funny because, like, there's so many, like, people around me who are, like, getting PC parts or, like, involved with, like, PC stuff. Like, my brother just ordered, like, parts for his new PC, and on Tuesday I'm having one of my friends extract data from an old computer that my grandfather had.
I am not.
His memories are giving you something. As these emotions flow through you, you take from him his singular power over the world.
I don't want sharesies. I want out.
But look, the Dormizone. It's lit up now.
The what now? What is the Dormizone? That sounds like a Domino's pizza special. Enter for your chance to win the Dormizone with any of your any two topping pizza, and you get a Dormizone for free. Stream has been real fun as of late, aside from the occasional tech issue or user issue. Well, I always have tech issues, so you've been doing really well, Blaze, and I'm like incredibly proud of you, by the way. But yeah, like tech issues, like I've had them every stream, and primarily it's just when Streamlabs just does not want to pick up what I'm streaming. That's probably the biggest one. Like, I'll always start, and then I'll, like, go live, and then I've checked it beforehand, it was working, but then when I go live, it's just the black screen. Like, it never actually, like, keeps it consistent.
You hungry?
So I've done Angels of the Zariman, but I didn't really pay too much attention to it. I kind of breezed through the quest. I streamed it, I think, like a week and a half ago, maybe, something like that. And then I also did Wave Rider, but Wave Rider just frustrated me. Yeah, and, like, it just, like, it was cool, but it's just, like, I didn't see the point, really. Like, why are we going back to the Zariman? Yeah, but Wave Rider's one that I'm gonna do on my own, because I tried streaming it, but, like, there's a task in the middle of that quest where you have to, like, kill an enemy, like, 5 times with your K-Drive. But I just, for the life of me, couldn't do it, and I was just like, you know, I'll do something else. And then I've been saving the Duviri Paradox for a stream. OMG, that reminds me, they admitted that Wave Rider sucks at TennoCon, and they want to improve a few quests. Thank you! That is a good first step for DE, or, like, another good step when they admit that something is wrong. Like, that's something that they never did when DE Steve was in charge. And, like, again, I will take any opportunity to dig at DE Steve. No offense to anybody who likes the guy, but, like, when he was the creative head, like, there was a time where they literally, like, dogpiled on a streamer or YouTuber for disagreeing with them and calling them out. Like, so I feel like they're definitely going in a better direction.
Let's go.
But yeah, Wave Rider was just, ugh. This, on the other hand,
Yours anyway. I made you. I kept you safe all this time. There's nothing I can't be.
Ignore him. Play out the day. Let him see that his control has weakened.
yeah, this is just really cool. Like, we got the Eye of Sauron in the distance over there, and then there's the Zeraman. And I just love how the Zeraman is just, like, perpetually stuck in between two universes. Like, that's so cool. Because it's like this, it gives you that sense of familiarity, but it's still wrong in a way. Like, this feels like a lived-in world, but it also feels like extra-dimensional, if that makes sense.
The king has these generators built, and then he lets them go to rack and ruin. Get it running again. Give me a taste of his power.
I'm here, but I still have stuff to get in. Okay, well, I'm fine with you stalking me, Sarah. I mean, is there any other thing that you would be doing? Okay, so what now? Collect reward.
I was hoping you'd find yourself alive.
Oh, Bombastine was admired, even loved. But others were loved more.
Stranger.
And love was poisoned.
What are you buying, stranger? Stranger, stranger. Now that's a weapon. Yep. Oh, thank you, Sarah. You're the best.
Ah, I know those Dax. They're the ones that like to use me as a target for their spitting contests.
Hey, fellas.
Score, would you? I've dreamed of this.
That's a one. Okay, back to Sun and Moon. Well, that was a little sloppy, but I mean, they're dead, so that's the important part. Except me, because I'm a stranger. Darn phone ruined my jokes.
Lay but one thought. How can this performance benefit me?
Yeah, Sarah is always watching.
Power is rooted in the Undercroft. Without it, he's not that big of a deal. Not really. Perhaps you should make your way inside for a little takeover bid.
See, like, with all these characters with, like, these weird, like, mask-type faces or just masks on, like, it just keeps reminding me of Payday for some reason, like, something that would be out of Payday. I know it's, like, based off of, like, Renaissance art or something, but I don't know, like, my brain goes into some very strange places. The Golden Cradle.
Enemies incoming. Stand fast.
Okay, so it looks like it's introducing you to, like, different game modes. So, like, this is defense, the other one was survival. So what I can do is just this. Because when I first started Volt, using Volt, I just did that for defense missions. Not so sure what I'll do after the Duviri Paradox, but I guess we'll get there. Oh yeah, with Volt, it's just going ham. Like, zoom! Now, this is just regular Volt. Like, my Volt Prime goes, like, twice as fast.
No time to rest.
I'm Ito's #1 fan in the whole world. I would beat up a wolf in Minecraft for them. Aw, thank you, Sarah. Well, considering that I've known you for 10 years, literally, because I met you in, what, July or August of 2013? Yeah, never thought we'd be here 10 years later doing this, you know? But hey, like, you've been there every step of the way, and it's much appreciated. Pirate Fox, thank you so much for the gifted subs! You're awesome! My fellow Eno pal! My, fellow Inochi. Yeah, welcome, Pirate Fox. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been a bit of a day, so that's really much appreciated, and I definitely needed that smile, so thank you so much.
This battle is already half won. The enemy
Let me.
must
Oh, it has a stance mod too. Cool.
hold the line.
Hold the line, cause love ain't always on time. Now I shall go burr. It's literally just slide and press E, that's all I'm doing. And also pressing left control to crouch. But like, this is probably the most effective way with Volt to kill enemies, is this way. Yeah, I just got back into Warframe recently, Firefox. Like, I played it a lot when I was in college. Like, I made it to Mastery Rank 28, but then I just stopped playing for a while because I didn't really like the direction the game was going in. But they've changed creative heads, so now the game is under, like, new management, so to speak. And it's fun. It's a lot more fun. Like, content is being spaced out a lot better, and I think it's great. Like, this is a lot of fun.
Has been scattered to the void.
It's Beyblade, let it rip. I remember seeing a photo that said, Beyblade is dead, let it rip.
Supposed to break her, not make her his
Critical Role.
favorite. I was meant to be the one who was loved. Me. It's not fair.
Also, you mentioned not having much to do in the Zeramin. For me, personally, there's a bunch of cool arcanes I'm still trying to get my hands on. Yeah, like, the Zeramin's cool. Like, it's just, I think I rushed through it because, you know, like, when I'm streaming, like, I'm more focused on, like, talking and playing the game than really, like, focusing on what's on screen. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Did he really just say that? Yeah, I need to probably go back to the Zeramin, and see what's over there. Because, like, I have most of the arcanes that I really want. Because, like, when I was in college, like, I spent a lot of time grinding to get arcanes and trading people. But some of the stuff that I have, like, it's not tradable because it's got mastery level, but some of the weapons that I have are worth a lot of platinum. And some of the prime parts that I have, too, but, like, platinum is inconsequential. I'd rather trade those to people who need them than keep them and hoard them.
It wasn't me that started stirring up this mess with the executions. You got it in your head to get out. Don't you see now? These stories are for you. For us.
So is that supposed to be his eyeball or something staring at me? Because, like, he's kind of got a little bit of a god complex if he's trying to, like, throw the Eye of Sauron at me. Last time I played Warframe, the big war was coming out, but I remember playing Warframe back when you had to get duplicate mods to upgrade your mods. Yeah, like, I started, like, I think it was 2014, 2015 is when I first started, and I played it pretty consistently up until about 2020, and then that's when I stopped. Because I just was not a fan of, like, Deimos has grown on me, but, like, I was looking forward to the new war, and then Heart of Deimos came out, and I, like, the community was making excuses for why, like, oh, the new war is this, it's blah 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 blah.
Nothing's worse than anger, right? It burns your lungs. It ashes the trees.
I would say loneliness is worse than anger.
Right?
Or sadness.
And after it passes...
Yeah, Warframe Stories, like, it went over the edge, I think. But that's okay. Like, it went from sci-fi space shooter to eldritch horror story.
It salts the soil so that nothing ever grows again.
I kept having too long breaks. I had to reset my progress in the story. Oh.
Didn't see it coming, did you? That I was just using you. You think there's some magic land outside of here?
Teshin possessed.
All there is war and suffering. Understand?
Are you going to sleep, Sarah?
Do you really? You keep calling this a prison, but you know what it really is. It's the only place in the entire universe that is actually safe.
Yeah.
But it's also run by a temper tantrum child.
It all. A whole world.
But yeah, if you ever want to play sometime, Pirate Fox, just let me know. I'd love to play with more people, especially spirits.
You had to bite the hand that feeds.
Calm down, Nine Inch Nails.
Terra, huh?
Like what?
Do I have to kick Teshin's ass a second time? I mean, was the war within not enough?
Once upon a time, there was a dying old man.
Oh, it's a fake. Lurking, waiting, preparing? What are you preparing for?
Lay on his bed, dying. He called to each of his beloved children.
See, I wonder if this will give me Volt, but, like, I already have Volt Prime, and I've mastered regular Volt already, so I'm wondering, like, is it just gonna hand me Volt? Because I think this is, like, since this is a separate introduction to the game, I'm guessing I'll probably end up keeping it, but... I mean, I have enough Warframe slots, so, you know, may as well just have it just to have it. Because, like, I'm at the point where, like, I want to keep every weapon that I get, because I used to just sell weapons that I mastered, but that's just not a good idea. So, like, ever since, like, years and years ago, I decided to keep every weapon in Warframe that I get. Whether that be a standard one, or a Prime. Just so I had, like, I have, like, one of each of everything. Just so, like, if somebody wants to see, like, oh, like, what's this, or what's that, like, I can show it off, and...
When each did hear his rasping call,
And something, and a couple personal projects that I'm trying to do in this game, like, I got one of the starter weapons, and I've been, like, building it to be, like, a devastating, like, kill everything gun. Just to show that even the starter weapons can be brutal if you know how to build them. I am about to sneeze. Eno is going to sneeze, and it's not fun.
so they came to his bedside,
Two.
by one, and his firstborn knelt there.
I usually play Wisp. Beware, the ravenous golden maw.
My child,
I was, like, immediately during that quest, right after Teshin said that, I got eaten by the golden maw.
so that I might be strong for you. And so the old man gave to them the deeds.
Yeah, that was a sneeze. Not because she turns me on, but Wisp was euphoria for me. Body goals that I won't achieve at goals. Yeah, like, they knew what they were doing when they made Wisp. Let's be real. Like, her proportions, like, that was intentional. I mean, Wisp is cool, but I don't really use her all that much. Like, I usually stick to, like, 4 Warframes, and that's it. Just because, like, whenever I have, like, a Warframe for every situation, like, it's just I usually stick to a couple. Because technically I can switch out some Warframe abilities with others, like with the Helmet, which is a new feature that they added a couple years ago. But I just haven't had the desire to do it.
My child, my child.
The Motum Whisper just fun, plus Big Beam Go Burr.
And his second
In terms of, they know what they're doing. I like how the first Warframes after Rebecca Tibbs takes charge with a furry.
now to remember only the joy you made of my life. And so unto him, the old man gave his
Well, I like Oberon. Like, I actually preferred playing as Oberon to Trinity for a while. Like, Trinity, like, I only use Trinity if I'm doing Eidolon hunts in the Plains of Eidolon. Which I've managed to kill, like, with my builds, I've managed to kill, like, multiple Eidolons in a single night, but, like,
my child. You were my favorite of all. Why show you no feelings at all?
Oberon I really liked because he has offensive abilities as well as, like, healing, so he's a combat medic, and that's what I really like about Oberon. Plus, like, for a while, Oberon was, like, the original Oberon was one of the easiest, like, Warframes to get a hold of. Because, like, the parts just dropped like candy. It's almost like they were intentionally giving him away. I really hope it didn't reset my progress again. Well, if not, Pirate Fox, like, if you ever want to play it, just hit me up, and then I can bum rush through the story with you, because at Master Rank 28, I can essentially erase anything that's in a map, so... Oh, Cranberry, hi! Welcome to the stream! Good to see you! I know it's pretty late, but it's always good to see you. I somehow got Trinity's gender wrong in the same sentence. It's easy to understand my friend loves playing them, so I got a lot of support.
Where is he?
Don't you worry. Justice comes swiftly in my kingdom.
Oop, that's gonna kill me. Nope. Execution! Oh, well. Thanks, little guy! You spared me from having to get my hands dirty. After not being able to for pretty much all of August, it was nice to get some grappling in. Oh, you got to go grappling hooking? See, that's awesome. Like, I know that haven't been able to do it recently, so I'm really glad you got the chance. Pirate Fox, who is another spirit like myself. He's actually, he is also a white spirit, like this, with like the same color scheme, except he's got black spots on his ears and his tail. And he's also, I think, what was it, like 1 foot tall or something? But I just gotta say, you know, real breath of fresh air, being able to express myself here compared to the last community, it's very nice. A little less than foot tall. Yeah, I can't remember, like, the specifics of your height. I just know that we're both Inochis. And yeah, that's awesome, Sarah. Like, that's what I really love about this new community that we're building, because the last community with that channel, like, it was a stepping stone, and I had good memories, but seeing how some of the people in the comments section and those, like, YouTube live streams treated you just broke my heart. Ooh, that was...
I've never seen you like this. So ready to fight.
Time will suffice about height descriptions for me. Well, see, now that VR chat added, like, that height thing, I might be able to somewhat match your height next time we play. I know that it has its limits, but I still think that it's cool that they added avatar scaling. Well, I still think you're unique, because that's like, that's your base height. Like, that's who you are. Like, me changing my height doesn't change the fact that in reality I'm like, what, 4'5" in VR chat? Very hurtful words said in my direction, to me at least. You mean like from the old channel? That's how I feel about a lot about my past. To be honest, there's moments where I wouldn't trade for the world, but overall I need to move on. Past, I'm glad it's better now. Yeah, and the thing with that YouTube channel was that I think it was just because it was so unorganized that, like, and the YouTube algorithm was just so unfair that it was just, that people would only, like, come for those videos, like those specific videos that I did. And because that assumption was there, it brought in some really nasty people. And so for context for this conversation, Sarah and I and a group of friends used to have a YouTube channel where we were fairly successful. Like, we had 27,000 subscribers and at one point 28,000. And Blazing was part of it too. Problem was, because certain videos got more popular than others, the assumption was that the channel was only about those specific videos, and anytime that we tried to branch away from that content, people would just completely ignore it. Like, say for example, like we did a video on that specific game, we'd get like 2,000 views per, like, for a video that's like 5 minutes, or like up to like hundreds of thousands of views, or 30K, like it really depended. And if we did something that was outside of that game, like stuff that we wanted to do, it would be like 60 views maximum, or 100 views. And then in the comments, it would be like, oh, where's this type of video? When's that next video coming? And like there was just a lot of like personal like attacks and harassment about it. And okay, this is no longer Warframe. This is now Lord of the Rings. Oh, now it's Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, and oh, the Lotus. But something that I have posted in my Discord server, at least I think I posted it in the server, like the first video for that new channel that I'm working on with a couple friends, where we're basically like rebooting that idea but doing what we want to do, is now, like the first video is done, being edited, and it just needs to get the intro and so on, and then we can make it public. No, so I can't actually use that, so I have to just roll. I can somewhat relate a little bit. Yeah, because I remember that, like, there was, for you, Cranberry, like, there was a lot of issues with, like, certain content creators, like, saying things that weren't true about your community. And, like, that's the thing, like, if I ever tried to reveal, like, myself as I am here, to that old YouTube community, they would eat me alive. Some very, very not so great people were part of that community, and I'm glad that I'm free of that. But you know, like, I'm still reminded of it sometimes, and I keep like thinking like I'm still there, but I'm not. And I had good times with it. Like, you know, it was something that I started with a group of friends back when I was in high school. Like, the first video was in 2013. The first one I did was in 2014. But I think, like, back then, like, we didn't have any idea how to run a content platform, or, like, how to do a YouTube channel or stream or any of that stuff. But now that we're all in our 20s, mid to late 20s, and some in our 30s, like, we definitely know, like, what to do now and how to make an entertaining streaming platform.
Terra.
And see, that's true, Pirate Fox. Like, I actually remember watching a video where somebody proved that it's slightly faster to roll in Zelda than run. So is Teshin gonna die for, like, the 3rd time?
I am.
I mean, I'd be, like, more upset, but, like, he's already died to me before. Like, he got his neck snapped by Era, and then somehow he ended up here. So it's like, it's not the first time I've seen Teshin die. Yeah, Teshin was a samurai, and then he became a sensei. Like, that's character development. I'm in control of this dragon? Cool! Hold space to climb. Unbound to dive. Unbound, that's it. Okay. So I guess I just have to destroy these things. I like how it says unbound to dive, so like, how do I get down there if it doesn't have a key to bound for it? So I guess I just have to wait till they come to me? For me, it's very different situation in yours. I wasn't still am targeted simply because a group of YouTubers see me as a threat. Since before they came on, I was the main English community resource for Dragon Quest. Yeah, and I think another difference is that in my case, I just completely removed myself from that situation and I made a new identity for myself, just so those people from that community wouldn't follow me here.
I don't care how angry you get. You can't change anything. You can't even change yourself.
Because, like, there's a couple videos that still have a lot of views that, like, you may have come across that I did that you may not have any idea that I was responsible for. Like, there's one video that is Zelda-related that I did that has nearly 2 million views. It's, like, at 1.8 million last time I checked.
You think stealing them
But even then, like, with that amount of views, it's like, you know, it doesn't change the fact that that YouTube channel made me miserable. Because it's like, I'd have to literally, like, delete every single video on that channel and just reboot it from scratch to make it viable. But, you know, like, I'm more content just starting over, like with Twitch and another new YouTube channel. There's a lot to say about my past content creator, but I really feel at home amongst y'all. Here's to finding our footing. Yeah, and I'm really happy that you're here, InstaFizz, because, like, I think we're all kind of, like, trying to find our place. And I think this is where my place is, and I'm really happy to be here. But I was the leader of the main English team at the time. Basically, I was targeted because they saw me as an obstacle to earning money off the game. Like, monetization money, or like, Would you like your Duviri Paradox action figure with 50 different areas of articulation? I don't know. I had a random number in my head and 50 was the one.
This is
His curse upon you.
Yeah, like, isn't there, like, more than, like, a... I forget how many bones are in a human body. An English community that was reading our guides and getting information from us was a community, not watching the videos and giving them advertising money. Ah, I see.
you. Can have it.
Ooh, I get to be on the throne! Haha, we just usurped this guy from the throne. We went right into his throne room and said, nope.
Is
250. The thigh bone's connected to the something bone. I don't remember the song.
Did it. You took control.
I always had it.
Yes, the bunny is back.
Didn't make this place.
Well, make that 3 bunnies, because there's me, there's that bunny, the jackalope Tara, and then there's Sarah, who's also a bunny.
Why?
Basilberry.
I guess it felt like a good trade.
But yeah, and this goes for Instafizz and Cranberry. Like, I'm glad that you're both here.
Those
Like,
beyond the wall.
I think that this, like, my community's kind of, like, been a nice place where everyone can just be themselves and talk about things that are on their mind like that.
Your freedom
And for me as well, it's been very healing because I get to express myself.
and out of the spiral. Be warned. You will not be.
Oh, God, that's awful, Cranberry.
But as you were.
People are just disgusting sometimes.
Do you see it? The other side.
I see it.
What will you do?
It ended up getting people leaving up in droves. Yeah, we're gonna enter the, we go to the origin system.
Sometimes you get stuck.
Yeah, and I'm really sorry to hear that,
Sometimes you go
Cranberry.
numb.
Like, that's just
The
awful.
color drains away.
But what I'm glad is that you
Stop
didn't let those
trying,
people get you
and that
down
just
and
feeds
take
the
away something that
spiral
made you
going
happy.
down.
Like, regardless of all that
Look
happened,
one
you're
day,
still here and you're still
you see
doing things that you're
yourself in the
passionate
mirror
about. And
and
you
snap
met
out
me.
of it.
So, I mean,
But for some of us,
like, you're
it takes more.
extremely strong for that.
A
And,
friend,
like, I definitely, like,
stranger,
admire you for that. So,
story.
I just want to put that out there.
Helping hand.
That's the issue with those things. Even if it's untrue, the damage is already done. Yeah, which is kind of why, like, for me, like, I just completely erased the old identity. Like, I am no longer that person that did that old YouTube channel. Now, granted, like, there are, like, fans... I'm gonna keep this on here just because it's adorable seeing Teshin play that. Oh, and hey, Wild! Good to see ya! But yeah, like, it's, for that old YouTube channel, I did, like, put videos in that were remasters of old ones that are going to be released up until, like, 2025, but I am not actively looking at anything on that channel anymore. In fact, I actually privated, I would say, 99% of the videos that brought me so much misery. But, like... But yeah, like, I completely just erased that old identity and, like, I started fresh, and, like, starting fresh has been a lot healthier for me, because, like, like, if I tried to do this on that channel, I'd get bombarded with comments about, oh, well, how do you do this in this game? Or, like, oh, well, do you want to glitch this? Or, like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I don't know why that's, like, half of the Y emote is just squishing me. I didn't erase my identity, but I've added to my identity. Yeah. And, you know, different situations. Like, in my case, like, I erased that old part of me and created something new. And I think it's not even necessarily that I shed the identity, because the identity was never me to begin with. Like, this new identity, you know, is me. This is who I really am. I'm not businessy. I'm not, like, this... an overly analytical person that criticizes games. I'm just me. And, I mean, Teshin, like, must be having a blast just petting the bunny jackalope thing, because he's, like, consistently, like, in emotion, not even blinking, just petting this thing. Like, I don't think he's blinked a single time. Like, just look at his eyes. Like, he has not blinked. I don't think he's blind. I think he's just, I think it's just that they didn't expect the screen to be on for that long, so they wouldn't notice. It looks like I got something in my inbox. Yes, the sun and moon! I really wanted that! The Mountain's Edge. Dual Nakana, so that's a stance. Persuading the Zeraman's own resident archivist to allow me access to your residence was not easy. A fearsome entity called blah blah blah. Archivist Duviri, I believe I know who you are better, perhaps than you do. As a token of trust, I enclose this curious blueprint. The blades are modeled on Master Teshin's, but weighted for Warframe's use. Okay. Problem is, am I actually going to be able to make this thing with the resources I have? Oh yeah, forgot I had that. And that. Okay, yeah, I figured that's what it would be. I need to get resources from the Duviri. He is content, he is at peace. Hi, Tasty! Good to see ya. The group that spread the rumors apparently put a new rule in effect on their server. We're talking about me or my group as a bannable offense. I mean, that's good, but it's also too little too late, because like we said, the damage was already done. But, like, in my personal opinion, I think you're awesome, Cranberry. Like, I really love seeing your photos, like, genuinely. Because, like, it's something that I really want to do is go out and adventure, but it's, like, because of the work, like, me working a lot, it's just I've never had the time. Or not even necessarily that I work a lot, it's just that I'm in an industry that brings a lot of stress to myself, and because I'm trapped in that industry, it takes a lot of energy from me where I just come home and I just crash, and I just, like, become really reclusive. Which is why I hope that Twitch can become a job. Like, not in a way that, I wouldn't make it corporate or anything, that's not my thing, that's not my style, but, like, just, you know, where I can stream and have fun, but also live off of it too, because I think that's one of my biggest dreams, because I hate working for big companies, especially retail companies, because, like, they just do not protect their employees. Like, because customers realize that they can throw a big fit and they'll get what they want. Let's see. Usage, so this new one.
Well put together, operator. Now get out there and
cut down the...
and make the Lotus proud.
And we'll put Flailing Branch. Basically, they aren't allowed to say anything good about us. But I don't really obsess over it. We've been focusing on being the best we can, and we have slowly been starting to see in better light as people start to see the rumors. The people that do that have never worked retail. Yeah, like the people, like I have a special place of like hatred for individuals who are rude to retail workers. And to be fair, sometimes it is justified. Sometimes there are just retail workers who just have a really bad attitude. But at the same time, you're working retail, so you can't really expect to be like sunshine and rainbows. But for the most part, like, if, like, I usually step in and defend people. Like, if I go to, like, Walmart or something and I see somebody being rude, I usually step in and I'm like, hey, leave the person alone. Because I've been there, and I'm still in that position. Because, like, self-checkouts, for example, like, people throw the biggest fits over self-checkouts. It's like, they're like, oh, well, they're stealing your jobs. It's like, I don't want the cashiers to lose your job. And it's like, well, if you cared about my job, then you wouldn't be contributing to this culture of, like, attacking retail workers. Like, if you actually cared about my job, then you would be assisting me in, like, fixing these culture problems that are prevalent in the retail industry. Now, instead of what the rumors say, I'm starting to be seen as the grappling hook girl, which is giving me a cool factor. Yeah, and Sarah, like, you are an incredible graphic artist. Like, don't ever, like, doubt yourself. Like, you are incredible, Sarah. Like, Sarah is the one who did all of the graphics for my Twitch page. So everything you see was done by them. They did all of the graphic artwork and everything. Very, very talented graphic designer. But, you know, that's work. They don't want you to work. They want to complain and feel validated. Right? Like, I saw a video not too long ago where it was like, it was like what customers should not say in retail, and one of the things was like, it's like, oh, the customer is always right, and it's like, well, if the customer's always right, why did they ask so many questions? Or why do the customers always have trouble finding things? Let's see. I get distracted, but, like, I'm just gonna probably do, like, a random build for this. Because I've always been really terrible at weapon builds. Like, I usually, like, look at other people's builds. I guess I can put some Umbra mods on there. In it. Okay, so it's electric, so let me find some. Maybe that's Shocking Touch, and we'll take Strike. Body count. Okay, that should be good. Let's see if I can change its skin. Nope, don't have anything. So one thing for Warframe players, if you really are struggling to find a color, the random color selector is a very good option, because you can just do this. And it will just continuously, like, make random colors until you find one that you like. And since I have, like, so many of the color palettes, like, it's just endless. But it's really hard to find one that I really like, so let's just kind of go through these until I find one. Ooh, that one's cool. I like the contrast of the red and the orange. I would never doubt my art, silly, just my appearance in your vids. Yeah, and I honestly feel really bad about that, Sarah, because, like, you didn't deserve any of that stuff, and the people were just horrible to you. The customer is only as right as their wallet tells them. Exactly, Big, and welcome to the stream. It's good to see ya. I'm just trying to figure out what to do next since I've completed that quest. But this story isn't all bad. There's a little bit of a happy ending. Well, I guess I can do some of these alerts, because, I don't know if I have some of these items. Well, there's a drone. So, I guess I didn't really need to bring my melee weapon, because I'm going to be given a water gun anyway. The real quote is, the customer is always right in the matter of taste.
3, 2, 1, I order you to have fun! Ding, ding, ding!
Yeah, how about Tonal Whiplash? Because this is Tonal Whiplash. We're having a water gun fight. But where are they? Yeah, so we just did this, like, the super serious, like, eldritch extra-dimensional quest, and now we're playing water guns with Grineer. Yeah, this is a summer event. It's, like, an annual thing they do called Dog Days of Summer. Or, like, Dog Days. And I like how it knows how to be silly. No, well, I'm out of water. But I like steel drum music, so this is a nice touch. Because a lot of Warframe's influences are like sci-fi-esque music, like 2001: A Space Odyssey type stuff. And then there's also like traditional Japanese instruments as well. So like it's a nice like contrast between like traditional Japanese elements and also sci-fi. Well, I got soaked. The lying snake that started and spread that rumor, the person my pinned messages warns about, has gotten himself in a lot of trouble. No, no! They've been banned from several communities, has gotten themselves into trouble in real life, and seems to have been shamed off of social media. They do seem to have learned the hard way that if you do nothing but lie, people eventually see those lies and get resentful about it. Yeah, and it's just like people do that just like the fact that people do stuff like that is just awful. Like that their only purpose is to make other people miserable and suffer. And that's what I experience every day in retail. Woo. Yeah, because I was really prideful of my old job at TV until like the new boss came in, but like working in retail, like I still have to teach myself this lesson sometimes. But like never feel guilty about what job you're working. Like it's a means to an end if you don't enjoy it and you're just doing it for like a paycheck. But like don't let society guilt trip you into thinking that just because I work like say like in a fast food place or retail store that it makes you less of a person. It doesn't make you less of a person. Like, your career choice, or like, what career or job you have to take does not define you as a person. Like, you're more than just what job you have. And I have trouble seeing that myself sometimes, but, like, I don't look down on anybody for what job they have. Yeah, and I think that's the problem with, like, that a lot of people experience, especially in the retail and fast food industries, is that you get shamed by certain crowds of people because they think they're better than you because, like, oh, well, I own my own business, so, and you're working like a 9 to 5, and blah, 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 blah. They might have been screaming about some of my recent Twitter messages, I'm not sure. They blocked me for a long time, and there are some replies to messages that I can't see, so I think it might be him. I'm not realizing I can't. I think you can press charges for slander if the evidence is still there, but it sounds like it isn't necessary anymore. Yeah, I don't want to generalize because I don't want people to think like oh, it's like a certain group of people, but it's usually like, because I work with like a lot of like lumber and construction crews, and like they're like not saying that people who do this are inherently rude or mean, but like most of the time whenever I have a rude customer, it's somebody that's buying wood or construction supplies. It's like they get like some customers get so offended when I tell them like, "Hey, I've got to close this gate because we're closing." Like, you know, it's like you can use the other exit, but you can't use this one because we're closing it down. And are 90% of the time running their own business into the ground, right? I mean, like, it's just ugh. But yeah, like I've worked in a lot of different fields and I really want to get back into radio, but like I had the opportunity to be a board operator for a local radio station, but the problem with that was the job didn't pay, like it didn't give me enough hours or give me enough pay to pay my rent and bills and so forth, which I would have loved to have it, but like the problem with a lot of radio jobs that, for those who aren't aware of this is kind of like an insight into the industry, a lot of radio hosts work on commission basis. So essentially, they make money based on how much advertising revenue they bring in, how many people buy these products that they're advertising or selling. So when you work on a commission basis, like you either get the commission or you don't get paid, basically, in some instances. Other times they give you like a wage and then you get a bonus from that commission pay, but the one around here, they specifically do commission basis only, and it's not great. Because like I can be a good host, I can be really entertaining, but God help me if I try to sell you a product, because I can't do that. Like here, I can just like name like some random BS thing, like, are you interested in playing an annoying Warframe quest? Well, let me introduce you to Wave Rider, the quest where you've got to do the K-Drive and do all these unnecessary tasks to get this Warframe. Do you like your lore? Well, I'm sorry, it's going to be hidden behind all of these, like, grindy walls where you won't be able to do it and you'll get frustrated and leave. I'll be selling this product. Yeah, I can't sell products for shit. Let me get to my chat. Is Eno playing squirt guns? Yes. Hopefully you end up in one of the two directions, either back at Radio Job or you get paid to do YouTube and Twitch. Yeah, like I said, I'm not a very good advertiser, but I'm a good personality, at least I think so. But, like, I've told people at my job, like, literally, because I'm like, I work here and I'm a bad salesperson because, like, I tell them the truth. It's like, okay, well, this product is only more expensive because it's the brand name. If you go to this product, it's the same thing, just in a different package.
Stop complaining, you know you'll love it.
So, Kayla DeThame, the Grenier character here, is actually intoxicated, which is why she's doing this. So usually she runs, like a Hunger Games type event, and that's kind of what this is based on. But for some reason, she got intoxicated and was like, okay, we're gonna do squirt guns. Like, here, let's do this. Eno has a great radio voice. Well, thank you. I think Pirate Fox has a much better voice, but that's just me. And I'm not trying to flatter you, Pirate Fox. I just really think your voice is awesome. Like, you definitely, like, you do an incredible Jack Sparrow, by the way. And, like, I could really see you, like, taking off in, like, commentary or voice acting, like, in any field you really want to. I think it's just, maybe that's just something that Enochis are known for. Like, just having good radio, like, commentary type voices. Okay, now that I've been soaked. When it comes to product support, sometimes there's a legitimate reason certain brands are more expensive. Yeah, though, like in Garden, for example, my store sells Vigoro and Scott's. They're both different brands that sell, like, garden products, so, like, mulch, seeds, what have you. So, Scott's is usually the more expensive brand, and they sell you less. Whereas Vigoro, like, I think there might be, like, a slight difference in quality, but at the same time, it's kind of like Walmart selling, like, the same cereals as Great Value, but just packaged in a different container. Because, like, working at Walmart, I learned that a lot of these Great Value stuff is just the same product, just packaged differently. Oh man, you play Warframe? I played it a long time ago when there wasn't so many crime frames. Oh hey, Droth Cole, good to see you. I think you actually got a gift sub from Pirate Fox earlier, so welcome to the stream. You are now subbed. We'll see about voice acting. I'm working on a small project from scratch. Well, hey, Pirate Foxy, if you ever need, like, an editor or, like, well, a professional video editor or somebody who can help you out, I'd love to help in any way I can. You've been super supportive to me, and I want to pay it forward, so if you ever need anything, Pirate Fox, let me know. Like, my bachelor's degree is quite literally in graphic communications and editing, so, like, if you ever need anything, just, like, let me know. But yeah, this is a nice little relaxing thing, because this summer I wasn't able to swim really at all, and I really like swimming, but around here there's just, like, been a lifeguard shortage, so there really hasn't been, there's only been, like, one pool open, so that pool naturally becomes really busy. But I guess I could just go to, like, the local YMCA and go swimming there anytime, but yeah. Or I could just drive to my old college and swim there, because since I still have my student ID, they let me in. How much do I have to pay you to play D&D with me? 10 cents sound good? Well, we can play D&D anytime for no monetary value whatsoever. It's just finding the time to do so. Well, since we're doing split screeners, name drop of the new YouTube channel, but since we're doing split screeners, we can do D&D, like, if you want to. I think we could even do it through Tabletop Simulator, because Tabletop Simulator has, like, a bunch of expansions and different things we can do, and if I get frustrated, I can just flip the table and throw it at you, so lots of fun without all the risks of getting hit by projectile D&D equipment. Because, like, I've been trying to get into D&D since, like, 2016, and it's just finding the time to do it has been difficult.
The only fun to be had in Rathoom is by me watching you die. Why has nobody died? Oh, right.
I mean, you kind of did give us water guns, Kayla, so... Currently trying to make trailer music, since I'm learning all this from the ground up with zero experiences. So one of my friends, one of my crew, you actually met him, Crazy Wolf, on VR chat. He is a amateur music producer, has made music for lots of different clients, and he also did music for Ruben Langdon for his documentary series, The Voice of Dante from Devil May Cry. So if you need music made, I can get into contact with him and see if he's open for work, because, I mean, you've met him, so he'd be happy to help you. I don't know, you're just off your schedule as rando. Scheduling is the true big bad evil guy of D&D. Well, I mean, it's true. Just finding the time and, like, the energy to do so. So, like I said, Sarah, I have reduced my hours at work. I'm doing much shorter shifts. I mean, I'm not making as much money, but I'm also doing it for mental health reasons until I can get, like, certain accommodations in place. But yeah, like, I'm reducing my hours so I'll be more free. Wait, you must complete... Oh, what? Oh, I have to get 50 kills. But I want the floof. So I guess I'm doing this again. Dang it. But hey, I'm okay with taking the break from the high octane action and hosers and squirts.
Stop complaining. You know you'll love it.
See, I wonder if the voice actress was actually legitimately drunk when she read these lines, because I think that's commitment to the character if you really were. I just realized that I have an inner tube on. So, but can I float in the water is the question. Yeah, so Warframe has gotten a lot better, and I mentioned this earlier in the stream, and it's mostly because they have a new creative head. Because the old creative head, Steve, while he was talented, and I respect the man for his work, he, in my opinion, was taking the game in a very wrong direction, and the way that he managed, like, the teams and stuff was not ideal, because in doing so, it made delays between updates a lot longer, and there was, like, not a lot of creative focus. But now that Rebecca is the creative head, I really feel that Warframe is thriving. Because a lot of people are coming back to it, myself included, even though I promised myself I'd never touch the game again. But here I am, and I'm having a blast. And I'm soaked. I don't think I'll make the 50 kills, but I mean, it's just fun to do this. Because, I mean, I'm literally, like, running around with a Grenier Super Soaker. And I'm soaked. Though I suppose water really wouldn't affect the Warframe all that much, considering it's a biomechanical, construct. So, I think it would be built to withstand, like, at least water. Because it's like, oh, I can withstand, like, rockets, bullets, everything. Hit with water, yeah. Because in Dog Days, and in this specific instance, like, your build and your mods don't really matter at all, because it sets you by default to 100 HP. I think maybe the speed is really the only thing that comes into play, but I could be wrong. So you're kind of like on equal footing with all of these Grenier. And it's a good introduction into the Rathoom and Index game modes, because this is basically its own game mode, but with actual weapons and different things you do. So, like, for example, the Corpus have one called the Index, where you do this, 5-on-5, and it's a way you can get credits. Oh my god, Pirate Fox! Like, thank you so much! Like, that, like, for a second there, I didn't even realize what that was, because, like, I've never heard it be done, but that means a lot to me, man. Thank you so much. Like, that goes a long way. Like, you are just, like, you are the best Inochi. Like, I may be Ino, but you're the best Inochi. Like, all my love and appreciation to you, Pirate Fox. Thank you so much. But now I feel extra motivated to, well, I don't think I'm gonna beat this because I'm at 20 kills and I need 50. But, can I do this in multiplayer, I wonder? Because if I can do this publicly, then I can get a team together and that would make it a lot easier. But yeah, literally, like, thank you so much, Pirate Fox. Like, that goes a long way and it's much appreciated. One game I'll never play again is Smite and Dead by Daylight. So much toxic. Well, two. So, Dead by Daylight is a game that I really want to play with Sarah. And the reason that I've never touched the game is for those same aforementioned reasons, the toxicity. So, Dead by Daylight, I want to get a team together of just people that I know that I can play it with, because we can just have a good time with it, and it's like a party game. Because playing it, like, with randoms, like, you're prone to get into a group of toxic players. Yeah, and I really feel like Sarah would be a very effective killer, because, like, everyone expects her to be, like, super sweet and nice, but then she's, like, doing, like, all these devastating moves on us.
Ordis has received messages for the operator.
What?
No, I have not read them.
So 2 for 2. Okay, so I guess it doesn't, it's not just one, like, you can do it more than once to get the kill. So it's not a set amount. Like, you just can do it however many times you need and then get the kills. Let's see. I'd be up for that. Yeah, for sure, Tasty. Like, especially because, like, Wesker is in the game now, and I just love that it's supervillain Wesker, because RE5, like, I had a lot of fun playing that with my little brother, Dak. For those who were on that stream and saw him, well, I may or may not have dropped the bridge under him and smashed him with a spike trap, let him get killed by enemies, but that's beside the point. I can do a Wesker voice. Yeah, well, whenever I get the opportunity, I'd love to hear it. I used to be able to do a pretty decent impression of Wesker, but nowadays, because my voice has developed so much, I can't do it so much anymore. Let me see, like, what's a quote that I used to do? Poor deluded Chris, how you so love your precious self-righteousness. Like, I can do the tone of his voice fairly okay, but I can't do, like, I can't do, like, his actual, like the, look for the word, like, the cadences of his voice very well. I'm actually really good at Dead by Daylight, but being good makes survivors or killers very toxic, which is completely understandable. Like, I really loved Friday the 13th when it first came out. I played it a lot on the Xbox One. But nowadays, I just, Gun Media has completely abandoned Friday the 13th, and they're working on that Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. But it's a shame, because that was a really fun experience, and it introduced people to, 80s horror. like 70s, 80s horror. And I think that's good because it introduces people to a genre that they may not have never seen before, or like a series. Which is why whenever like Stranger Things Part 3 came out, and there was that whole Master of Puppets scene with the guy playing on the guitar, I think his name was Eddie or something, I'm really happy about that because, you know, some people are trying to gatekeep like thrash metal and like other genres. They're like, oh, well, these kids don't know anything about this. But what I love about the fact that they added that is, and just Stranger Things in general, it's introducing them to like really good music and culture that has existed for years, but they may not have seen it because of how the media really doesn't showcase that kind of music anymore. It's more like R&B, hip-hop, rap, so on, and poppy rock like Maroon 5, which, nothing wrong with Maroon 5. I like Adam Levine as a singer, but like we don't really see a lot of like metal or anything anymore. So I'm glad that it introduced people to that. And Greta Van Fleet, for those who have heard of Greta Van Fleet, I heard they've gotten really popular on TikTok. They sound just like Led Zeppelin. I know that comparison's thrown around a lot. But I think it's great that they're bringing back that classic sound because it's a way to bridge the gap between generations. Like, everybody can, like, appreciate that same sound. And by listening to Greta Van Fleet, people will naturally want to listen to Led Zeppelin. So and that's also with JoJo. Like, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure introduces people to classic rock, and I think that's what's really cool about bridging the gap between the generations as far as music is concerned. By the way, when are you going to start making vids for the new channel? Well, I don't know if you saw, but I finished one already, but I'm waiting for Frozen to finish the intro. Cowboy Bebop introduced me to blues and jazz. Yeah, and I think that's what's really cool, is that certain media can introduce us to stuff that we may not have ever really touched before. Like Star Wars and John Williams, like that definitely got a lot of people into like more orchestral music, and The Legend of Zelda too. Like The Legend of Zelda is another big one. It got people into like orchestral, like really emotional music, and especially in Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, where it brought more of a Japanese feel to some of the songs. I think that's really awesome.
Listen, I have a little job for you. If so, what do you say? Will you help him out? And
sure, I'll help Clem. Just cut off Darvo as he's talking to me. Well, and also Dragon Ball Z, like the older Dragon Ball Z films, like the Legendary Super Saiyan and Cooler's Revenge, like it's all 2000s like hard rock, like Disturbed, Drowning Pool, Pantera. Well, I guess Pantera's more 90s, but
they cut off life support. You're going to let them intimidate you like that?
So I got Lavos because I liked the name, and because Lavos is the main villain of Chrono Trigger, but, like, I don't really understand his abilities very well. But, so I'm really just using him for mastery fodder right now. But good gosh, that health bar. It's fun hearing other countries taking on genre, usually because it's approached differently. Yeah, like Sabaton, for example. If you're familiar with Sabaton, or Rammstein, like European like power metal has like really taken off, like, or Powerwolf too. Like I believe I think they're a German band. Like there's a lot of like power metal has really gotten popular over in Europe, and I love that. Because like over here, like it's hard for power metal to really take off because of like our culture is like really ingrained in like hip hop and R&B and what have you. But like over there, it's completely different. Like they're not constrained by like all these societal ideas that we have over here in America.
You have strayed too far from the path.
Okay, Arbiters of Hexus, I literally pledged myself to your organization, and yet you're hunting me down? I mean, they sent an assassination squad towards me, and I already took them out, so... Because, like, at a certain point, like, when you're playing Warframe, like, if you build your weapons correctly, like, your weapons are really... Like, you can really go in with, like, any Warframe as long as you have, like, really good weapons. Like, not all the time, but, like, I'm pretty much not using any of Lavos' abilities, yet I'm still killing everything because of how I built my Shedu. Because it's quite literally a sentient arm cannon with infinite ammo that knocks back whenever it reloads. And it kills pretty much everything I hit within the 7-round magazine capacity. Is the Stalker still easy to kill? Well, very easy to kill. Like, I can take him out in probably 2 hits, if even that. Because the Shedu, the Stalker, at least the Shadow Stalker, has, like, sentient adaption. But the Shedu essentially negates that resistance, so I go right through it as if it's not even there. So, like, taking out the Stalker is especially easy nowadays. And I don't know how hard the Shedu is to get now. It used to be fairly difficult to obtain, for good reason, because it's insanely powerful. But yeah, if you wanted to make like a Metroid Samus type build, this is the weapon you'd want to use. And with Lavos, I kind of tried to go with a Lavos-esque look, which is why I have this signed on it that has a literal eyeball that moves. Because while I have not played Chrono Trigger, I watched Dak, my little brother, play it, and I love it. And eventually I will get to it, but the next game, like, JRPG that I'm going to be playing after Kingdom Hearts is going to be Final Fantasy VI. And then after that, probably Chrono Trigger, and, like, who knows? Like, if things go my way and I get, like, these job situations figured out, I'll be probably able to stream, like, more than, like, 3 or 4 times a week, which is my ideal solution. Because, like, now I can only stream, like, maybe twice a week, maybe 3 if I'm lucky. That is such bull. I remember when it was rare to kill him. Well, the first time I ever encountered the Stalker, like, the original Stalker, not even Shadow Stalker, he completely wiped the floor with me because I just didn't understand how builds work in this game. And speaking honestly, I still don't. I usually just, like, look at somebody's YouTube build and then I modify it to my needs. So, like, for example, this build could be stronger for the Shedu, but I would rather have the increased fire rate than increased damage. Because, like, if I didn't have this mod on it that increased the fire rate, it would be more like this. But since I have that mod, it's more like this. Is that literally a jackal? But this is a boss enemy! What's this doing here? And it's dead, so... I guess I panicked for no reason. It does remind me of Samus's cannon now that you mention it. It's got that feel down to a T. Yeah, and I played around with the idea of making a Samus-type build. But I also want to go for the looks, too, so it's not even necessarily the Warframe's abilities, but also the look and feel. Once I'm done with this mission, I can actually properly show that off, because for the most part with my Warframe builds, I like to cosplay something. And sometimes I'll just make it from scratch, but for the most part I like to do cosplay because I like to insert, like, certain things from other genres and other games into this universe, and in a way it's a way for me to showcase these characters to other people through Warframe that may not have seen them before, like Lavos being pseudo-based off of Lavos from Chrono Trigger. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who have probably made it much more accurate, but, like, I think, like, the eldritch appearance of him with like literally the eyeball on the back makes him pretty close. But I can't charge it up or anything. It's really just a straight up laser cannon. Like, it's not like I can't do like the charge beam that Samus can do. And geez, that's another series that I'm gonna play on stream. So kind of like my rotation so far has been like playing JRPGs and then other games, but like one day is a JRPG, the others are whatever. So maybe one of those other days I'll start Metroid Prime finally, because Metroid Prime, I got that game, well, I rented it, my family rented it back in 2003, like a little bit after it came out. And I remember, like, my brother and my uncle playing it, but I have not played that game since then, because I associate it with a childhood trauma that happened around that same time I was playing it. But, like, since I've kind of healed from that, I feel like I can actually touch the game now. And that's what I want to do, is I'm gonna do, the Prime mod with, Metroid Prime Trilogy, so I can play it like a traditional, like, PC FPS. Because it'll let you use mouse and keyboard to play it instead of the controller. And I think that would make it a lot easier for me to play, because I can play FPSs with a controller, like I did that my whole life, but nowadays as a PC gamer, it's just like adapting to that control scheme will take some time, and I'd really like to experience Metroid Prime in the best way possible. I'd still like to see you try out Yama Warriors demo. Yeah, and I've been watching you play that fairly regularly whenever you stream it, Cranberry. Though, is it just for the Switch, or can I play it on Steam or any other platform? Because I'd love to play it, but the issue is that I need to get an Elgato capture to play it on my stream. Because the way that I'm set up right now is, like, right behind me is my TV, so, and along with my Switch, so I can literally just, like, get some cords together and play it. But there is, like a USB kind of thing that I can plug in that will let me play it, but there's a little bit of a latency delay. But I want to get it in the best quality possible, because I do want to stream some console-exclusive games at some point. Like, Fable 2, like, I want to play the Fable games, because the new Fable's coming out soon. And I definitely want to play the Fable series on stream, because that's another, like, RPG series I really love, and I don't see it get a lot of attention. Fable 2 is probably one of my all-time favorite games. Like, I know that I rotate my top 10 a lot, but Fable 2, probably, like, at least a number 5 or 6 on my top 10.
You should think about finding a capsule.
Great game. Very bad ending. Like, Fable 2 had a fantastic story and world, and but it had a really anticlimactic ending. Basically, there's, like, I won't spoil it, but essentially you're robbed of a final boss encounter of that game. And it's just, like, relegated to a cutscene, basically. So that's the only disappointing thing I had about that game, but overall, like, and I also have Fable 3 on Steam, because Fable 3 had a PC release for Windows games for Windows Live, but it was removed from Steam. But you can still buy keys of it from Amazon. So I have a copy of Fable 3 for the PC if I ever wanted to play it on stream, which I do. But Fable 3 is a love-hate relationship. It's a good game, but has a lot of flaws. How much is the capture? Let me see.
You should think about finding a capsule.
The Elgato is... let's see. Well, the Elgato HD 60 is $179 retail. Yeah, I actually have this on my throne as well. Because a Game Wizard actually sent the link to me and I put it on the throne. It's just a matter of actually, like, because, like, even if I had it, it's just finding out how to hook it up is another story. Because what I guess I could, because Pirate Fox, you're killing me, man. Oh, I just like I want to get into VR chat and just give you all the high fives, and I don't recommend the Elgato. Well, I mean that's still good to get like something, but thank you, Pirate Fox. Like, oh, I'm doing the Exorcist thing right here. Like, look at my neck. Because I just like my hand is on my face and it's not detecting. So let me see how bad I can make this. Oh, that's bad. Let me make it worse. Yeah, Pirate Fox is the MVP. Like, if there was a way that I could shout out your work, do let me know. Because like those donations mean more than I can express into words. Like it's honestly like. I'm honestly tearing up a little bit because, like, that's so nice, and I had, like, such a terrible day today at work, and it means the world that you support me, and, like, everyone's here supporting me, and I'm really actually tearing up. Oh. Ugh. Okay, I'm actually going to go into a public game. I'm not going to use Lavos just because I really don't like his ability setup. Elgato is what I stream with. I had to RMA mine twice to an unknown issue. I would maybe try the HD60X, but that is unsolicited advice. Oh, hey, no worries. Like, I'm just looking at it as I go. I just know that Elgato's a really good brand because, like, way back when Elgato was kind of shunned and looked down upon, but now Elgato like really got their stuff together and they're a lot better. Because I used to use the Hopodge HD PVR 2 Gaming Edition way back when, and that was my way of recording games. But I don't know where that went, and it's probably obsolete by now. So probably best that I have the Wave mic from Elgato. You said you've seen my stream, so what you've seen on my stream, so you can expect from Elgato. And your stream quality is really good, Cranberry, and it's like it's a lot higher quality than the Hopodge HD PVR gave me. But here, just for you, Cranberry, I'm actually going to take out this Warframe, and I'm going to do a, let's see, I'll do a defense mission somewhere. Let's go to, like, Jupiter or something. Does Jupiter even have a defense mission?
Everything in orders, operator?
Oh, here. So the reason I'm bringing this Warframe out specifically is because they have a grappling hook. Yours is Game Capture HD. I'm not sure what number. Yeah, I think I'll just do some research, but, like, really, Pirate Fox, like, that is the nicest thing that, and I, like, anything I can do to repay that, like, I will, like, that is awesome. But yeah, here's the grappling hook. It's more of a zip line, but it's still a grappling hook. Here, let me place down some turrets. Oh, good, no obligation. Just passing on some goodwill. Yeah, thank you so much, Pirate Fox. Like, I'll probably say that like 50,000 times throughout this stream, but thank you. I just looked at my device again to check, and in fact, an HD60S, so maybe the non-S is good. Well, hey, after the stream, I'm gonna do some like looking into that and get that ordered, because like, I've got my Switch, I've got a ton of Switch exclusive games that I can play, especially Pokemon. Like, Pokemon, like, I had a lot of fun playing Emerald on stream, but, like, I'm not able to play, like, say, for example, like Sword and Shield, and I've been really wanting to stream Shining Pearl, because the only reason I have not touched that game is because I just have not been into it, and I've been wanting to stream it. So, I'm hoping that I can start streaming that, even if Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond were not really like looked on as great remakes by the community. I still want to play it because Diamond and Pearl, they were some of my favorite of the series. Because, like, traditionally, me and my friend Altaru, who is part of the Split Screeners crew of that YouTube channel I mentioned that I'm starting, him and I, like, since, like, 2010, have been getting, like, the opposite versions of games and playing together. But the only time that wasn't true was when I got Pearl version back in 2008? No, it was 2009. Because when I got that, I just like the design of Palkia better than Dialga. But after that, I got the first version, so like Black version, X, Sun, Ultra Sun. Oh geez, what else? What was after? Was Sword and Shield came after Sun and Moon, I think, right? Shining Pearl looked interesting. Yeah, and I like the overall look of it. Like, it's remade in a chibi style, but the original game was a chibi style with some art assets and sprites. So it's more so like remaking it to a T rather than actually trying to like redesign it. And I think that's okay because like Legends Arceus was really good. And that's another game that I have in my backlog that I still have it in the shrink wrap. Because I just haven't really found the time nor the motivation to play Legends, even though I know it's really good. And has one of the hardest Pokemon battles since Red on Mount Silver. Oh yeah, what's cool about this grappling hook zipline thing is I can also grab enemies with it. And just shred them. Who knows, maybe I'll like redesign my Valkyrie Prime to be more like, kind of like base it off of like the grappling hook girl a little bit. Because like this Valkyrie Prime, like this design was just like something that I threw together randomly, like it wasn't emulating anything specifically. Let's see. So you said you played Emerald on stream. That is one of my favorite Pokemon. Yeah, I played a Nuzlocke for the very first time, Pokemon Emerald, in the last like 2 months, and I actually beat my Nuzlocke, so that was pretty good. And it was nice to play Emerald again for the first time since like 2006, 2007. Because after I got Pearl, I'd never really touched my Emerald besides migrating my Pokemon over. So it was the first time that I legitimately touched the game since like 2006 or 2007. Have you played any ROM hacks that make the game slightly harder? I've played ROM hacks before, but nothing specifically to make it harder. Like, I've played a couple different, I'm trying to remember, like, I think it was something for Leaf Green, but nothing specifically for Emerald. But I still actually have my original box for Pokemon Emerald that I got for my birthday in 2006, right behind me. I was lucky to find it too, because it was like buried under a bunch of other stuff, and I nearly tossed it. But I didn't realize what it was until like right before then. I was just so happy that I found it because it's not in the best condition, but it's still really well put together for it being a childhood game. Congrats on beating the Nuzlocke. Well, thank you so much, and welcome to the stream, Tech Happy. Probably should have said that to start with. Link names on. They all have the same model on them. Yeah, I mean it doesn't really matter too much like the model, just so much as it works. Because like I've seen different things that like there's a company that makes like a USB that connects to your Switch and lets you play it on your computer via some form of connection. Like, it's not, like, legitimately playing the Switch on the PC, more so, like, streaming what's on your TV to, like, a program on your computer and you can play it on a controller. But the problem with that is that that software USB thing has a lot of latency issues, and the quality it's almost like playing a game from the cloud. Like unless you have like really good consistent internet, it's not necessarily going to be fantastic. So like having a direct connection would be better, and I could honestly probably play some of the stuff in handheld mode, or I could just turn my desk around and then play it on my TV, which is right behind me. Do you have a monitor that you can dedicate the console to? Yes, I can. I have a dual monitor setup, so I can use like my main monitor as the one that I'm playing the game on, and then I can use the other monitor to monitor the chat, which is what I do when I play like Warframe and everything. And hey, no worries about that though, Tech Happy. Like, you know, that is completely okay. Like, I mean, you meant good, so like you mean well, so it's all good. All good in the neighborhood.
Another opportunity to extract will appear soon.
But yeah, I used to, like I said, I used to record with the Hopodge HD PVR 2 Gaming Edition way back when. It was fairly difficult to set up, at least back then. Like, back then I had a really underpowered computer that could barely run it, and I could only record at like 480p. So you can play it real time and capture OBS speed with slight delay. More or less. I don't remember what that software USB thing was called. Like, I just had a friend showed it to me. It's like a Kickstarter thing that became a full in-production thing. I don't know exactly how it works. I know that like the USB connects to your Switch and then it connects to your computer. But I don't have a means of, like, I don't have, I'm actually playing off of Wi-Fi because the router is in the living room. So I can't exactly use an Ethernet connection at the moment. I mean, I could in the future, but like right now it's just I don't have the capacity to do it unless I move my computer setup into the living room, where my other brother is probably currently watching shows, and I'd rather not stream while he's watching something. Wiz, hi! How are you doing, Wiz? I saw that on your Discord. You said you were tinkering, but what were you tinkering with? Well, I'm definitely not going to need salvage or oxium anytime soon. As far as the delay goes, and mine has a delay, I've never noticed it. Life. Mostly 3D printer right now. I've messed with not a kind of in the same realm, but I've messed with not a 3D printer but a 3D scanner. So in college, we had this 3D scanner in order for us to like bring like an object that we brought in for class to 3D scan and bring it into a animation project. So like I had my pocket knife and I 3D scanned that in with that scanner. But what was cool is that the scanner that we were using was the same exact one that was used to scan in Peter Cushing's face in Star Wars Rogue One. So like I was working with some really like high-end like technology back then. It's a small little desk thing too. Like they probably scanned his face like probably like hundreds of times. Get water too? No worries, I've got some right here. You'll probably see me drink it on the motion capture. I have hydrated. Hydrate or dihydrate. But yeah, Liz, are you comfortable with me sharing the news, or do you want to just, like, keep that between us? Because, like, I don't want to say it outright without your permission. Oh, I read that wrong. Like, I saw the water at first, but then I saw the stretch. Okay, let me throw Spectre down, so... There we go. See, I'd make a joke about that redeem, but it would be a bit of a stretch, if you know what I mean. That joke is all wet. I know, right? One thing about the capture card, the HG60X is different than the earlier models, and that it doesn't require special software. It appears as a camera. So, like, when it appears as a camera, like it appears as, like, a virtual camera? Because something that I'm planning on doing for that, I'm going to be doing an interview soon with a voice actor named Matt Hill on my stream, and something that I'm going to do is I'm using OBS as a virtual camera so I can interview him with my model, which will be happening on the 10th, by the way. We have a date down, so tune in to my stream on September 10th at... Thank you for the follow, Tech Happy. Much appreciated. Thank you all. Like, this has been a really great stream today. Like, this definitely, like, helped turn around, like, an otherwise not-so-great day because of my work. But, yeah, September 10th, tune in on around noon CST time. That may change based on Matt's schedule, and we're still kind of working out the kinks with that. But so far, it'll be September 10th at noon CST, Central Standard Time. Is when I will be interviewing Matt Hill. I have a few questions prepared, but I do have some other things I do want to point out before, like, we get to that. I will be turning the alert box off for that stream, just because, like, I am going to be saving the VOD, and, I don't want, like, things popping up on screen and such, and I do have pre-prepared questions, but I will also be taking questions from the chat. But the thing with Zoom is that it sets the limit to like 40 minutes, so I'm going to have to mess with that and see about getting it to an extended period meeting. But 40 minutes I think is enough time anyway. But yeah, that will be happening on September 10th. Because as a virtual cam, it works with basically any software. No hot sauce. Yes. Well, I mean, maybe at the end of the stream, like if somebody redeems the hot sauce, I'll be like, oh well, Matt. Well, there's this whole thing going on where people have me drink hot sauce. But yeah, I think I might go through and modify my Valkyr's colors to kind of like match you a little bit, Cranberry, just because the grappling hook, and I like to base my Warframes off of things and. Kind of like how I named, in the Nuzlocke, I named, like, all of my Pokemon based on chat members or, like, other people. So I think that'd be a good way to kind of, like, pay it forward to my community by kind of basing things off of community members. But, what I was saying earlier about the cosplay factor, is that I'll kind of go through, like, some of my Warframes and show off, like, what color schemes and what I base them off of. Yeah, I mean, that's your shtick, if you will. Like, it's something that's unique about you that is incredible. Like, I'm not sure exactly what people would define me with, like, say for the thigh thing, but, I mean, I'm pretty clueless when it comes to other people's perceptions of me, so there's that. So, I'm going to go through these a little bit, just showcase like what I base them off of, just to kind of give you an idea of what my Warframe experience is like. So, regular Ash is based off of Dante's his Beowulf Devil Trigger from Devil May Cry 3, which I finished on stream a couple weeks ago, and will not speak of that stream. Ash Prime is a combination of Solid Snake and Sam Fisher. So, Solid Snake with the whole bandana, and Sam Fisher with the tri-goggle look. And this Ash Prime is just the standard one. Atlas, Saitama, One Punch Man. Atlas Prime is Star Platinum. I think that was based off of like a Latias color scheme. Banshee Prime, just standard colors, I guess. Baruch, I'm not sure what I based Baruch off of. I think it was just like some of these, like some of my lesser used Warframes don't really have a lot of attention put into them because I just use them for mastery fodder. I'd say the main thing we associate with being leader of a realm, you kind of live your avatar. Yeah, and whenever I show you all of my adventures that I have, like that's all like adventures within my realm. And like, and lore is something that I'm definitely working on because like some of my lore, of course, is based around the Time Spirit community on VRChat, and that is what I am. That's my species. I am a Time Spirit, but I have my own lore. Like it's connected, but disconnected, if that makes sense. So, like, Ino comes from the name Inochi, which is, as far as I'm aware, like, it's roughly Japanese for life. But I wanted to shorten it to Ino because I found that a lot cuter and more, I guess, more approachable, and more simplified. And because, like, naturally my avatar is more feminine, I wanted to, like, get a more feminine-sounding name out of that. And I am going to be working on a lore video at some point, but it's coming together, but it's slow going. But like most of my lore is what you've seen on my stream so far, and sure, I'll add the thigh thing to the lore. But anyway, Caliban was just I made him in my color scheme, like my standard color scheme of blue, white, and green. Chroma, I think I based him specifically off of a green dragon, because this whole helmet is like draconic. Chroma Prime, I think that was based off Spike the Dragon from My Little Pony. I'm not sure what I did for Chroma. That Ember is just one that I have. Ember Prime, oh, that's based off of Ember, also from MLP, which was a show that I don't feel guilty about liking because it got me through college and it's very comforting to watch. Equinox, I think that was a randomized color that I did for Equinox, but it came out really stunning looking. Like, just that's in like I really love the look of Equinox. Yeah, it could also like this one could also be an alligator. Like, I know there's a dragon, like more dragon-themed skins for Chroma, which is like the reason why there's scale patterns here. I think that's a 10-gen skin, so you have to pay real money for that. Equinox Prime. Ooh. Like, I'm just looking at these for the first time in like 3 years, and I'm just amazed at my creativity back then. You do come across as being pretty approachable, the whole safe place vibe. And I appreciate that, Cranberry, because that's what I want to be like. And that was something that I never could have been whenever I was on that old YouTube channel. And being myself, like, this is the real me. Like, this is how I am in person. Maybe a little less fluffy, but, I mean, this is how I am in person. That Equinox Prime is fantastic colors. Yeah, like, I think that, I don't know if that was randomized colors or if that was just what I did. Like, I actually need to look at this. No, that seems to be something that I did on my own. Huh. I'm genuinely impressed with my past self, so give myself a pat on the back. Excalibur, the regular one, I based him off of. Well, let's see if any Metal Gear Rising fans know who this is. That's probably the biggest hint that I can give for this one. So the skin that this Excalibur has is actually the Proto skin, which is based off of Digital Extreme's previous game, Dark Sector. where a lot of the themes and enemy appearances eventually became what we know as Warframe. Like this area down here, like these are holsters that they just like modeled over to match Warframe's aesthetic. Yeah, so let me see. Let me bring out the Dragon Nikana. Yeah, it's Jetstream Sam from Metal Gear Rising. Like, I spent quite a lot of time getting the colors just right. Like, there's even a little bit of red on his arm to kind of symbolize that, too. What was that weapon that I was just using? It's like, started with it. Yeah, that one. Let's see. Umbra, there's another story with this one. Unless we count your avatar itself, I don't really think there's any one specific thing that really identifies you. Like, if you tried to describe Eno in one word, I can't really think of anything unless we went with spirit. And that's completely fair. But I'm completely okay with that, like, not having something specifically that defines me. Because, like, I'm a like, I have a multitude of different things that could potentially define me, and I don't think any one thing would really necessarily fit that bill. But, I am a martial artist. For those who are not aware, I am a practitioner of Kendo and Kenjutsu. I have been doing this for over 2 years now, which I actually need to get back into because I haven't been able to go to class in a while. But this one is based off of Miyamoto Musashi, probably one of the most well-known Japanese swordsmen in the history of Japan. He was famous for his two-sword style of using the wakizashi and the katana together, because most samurai would carry two swords, the katana, the long sword, and the wakizashi, which was a smaller short sword. But in Musashi, he created a technique of using both swords at once. Actually, you know, that Excalibur Umbra skin is based off of Nightmare Chica from the hit game FNAF at Freddy's. So it's Five Nights at Freddy's. Embrace the mold suit, you know? It works great when you finally play D&D. Good character ideas. Yeah, I mean, and I think, like, because I've got, like, I'm a spirit who is wearing a dress, and I have a, oh, that's the wrong ear. I have a daisy in my ear, and I intentionally try to look adorable, but then I have, like, this really deep radio voice because I used to be in radio. But, yeah, so this one is based off of Miyamoto Musashi in color, based off of all of the old, artworks and depictions of him, especially in the Book of Five Rings, which is his book. If you're more curious about that side of the story, side of like me, like feel free to ask because I'm passionate about that. Frost Prime, another Devil May Cry Devil Trigger, based off of the Cerberus Devil Trigger from Devil May Cry 3. Gara, I think that was another random one that I did, but I kind of went with a lot of gold, just because like she's like her whole shtick is that she has sharpened glass that she throws. Garuda, that's just her basic look. Now, Gauss, or Gauss, however you pronounce it, is based off of a Marvel super. For Marvel fans out there, he is based off of Quicksilver. Basically the equivalent character to the Flash in the Marvel universe. Not as fast as the Flash, but still a cool character nonetheless. Sounds like a base for a druid, a bard, and a sorcerer. Flower equals druid, dress equals bard, voice sorcerer, spells flavored as voices. Zoom. You see, I can hear, like, that stereotypical, like, nerd voice. It's like, actually. Which we got a lot of those in the old YouTube channel. Grendel, I based him off of the first boss of Devil May Cry 5, who has this similar thing, because Grendel's whole shtick is he uses his stomach to basically suck in enemies, and so I tried to kind of do that same color scheme with that boss in DMC5 that essentially does the same thing. And Harrow is just edgy boy. Like, I tried to make him look like the Grim Reaper, like, or just like some sort of like, I don't know, like Lord of Death, or a Sith. Yeah, like he could potentially be a Sith Lord as well. Like I think my theme was just making him look like dark and menacing, because like he looks dark and menacing. Like, his whole shtick is that he, like, beats himself with chains to make his, like, attack or something get better. I'm not sure. Hildren, Don't remember what I based her off of. Like, I know that there was some sort of theming I was going for, but I'm not sure what I based her off of. Freaking Hydroid. Hydroid, that's just the base colors. Didn't really know what to do with Hydroid, but basically he's essentially a pirate captain-esque character. Like, a lot of his abilities are based in water. Inaros, I was very into Egyptian mythology, so I made him Anubis. I looked at some original hieroglyphic artwork of Anubis, and I gave him this cape, which is like a sandy type cape, but based him off of Anubis, the god of death. Oh, thank you for the raid, Ice. Good to see ya, and welcome, raiders. I'm Eno. I am a spirit, and I'm a variety streamer, and I'm just talking about Warframe lore and discussing my builds of what characters I cosplay and which ones I don't. So if you're interested in that, stick around. If not, thank you for the raid. So, let's see, Ivara. So, Ivara, funny story. So, there was one time that I actually got to play with D.E. Rebecca, the voice actress for the Lotus in this game, and also the creative head of Digital Extremes. It was just a random game, and I managed to get into a lobby with her. So I looked at her profile, and this was what she was using, was Ivara. So I decided to try to recreate what she made. So this is essentially almost a one-to-one recreation of D.E. Rebecca's Ivara that I saw that one time that I played a game with her. Because I thought her color scheme was fantastic, and so I can't take any of the credit on this one, but this is D.E. Rebecca's Ivara. Korra, I think I based off of, like, Korra from The Legend of Korra, now that I'm looking at it, because of the color scheme, but I don't think I put too much, like, detailed effort into making her look like that, because the Korra I don't really use very much. Well, I didn't come from that raid, but I was watching both. Well, hey, you're here, and that's what's important. Lavos I got recently. I'm still working on him. These are random colors, with the exception of the Syandana, which has the eyeball. But I'm trying to kind of go for like a Lavos from Chrono Trigger kind of feel. Like Lavos is completely different in this game. Like, his portrayal is more of an alchemist, like a elemental type Warframe. But because of the name, like, my instinct is like, oh, Lavos from Chrono Trigger, like the eldritch abomination that is across multiple timelines. Oof, I burped right as I was talking. There could only be one. Korra needs more Korra. Clearly game needs Highlander, his doppelganger now. Looks like Nurgle Worshipper from 40k. So, Limbo, my regular Limbo is based off of, I think I went for like more of like a Loki type look, like Loki from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't remember, like, this one I don't really remember too much on, but Limbo Prime, on the other hand, I said Loki, but Limbo Prime is fairly obvious what I'm going for here once you see, like, the green hearts and the color scheme and the red cape, and the fact that Limbo can essentially freeze time. It's Jotaro Kujo. No, it's supposed to be Dio, which is kind of a stereotypical, like, Limbo build because of the abilities, but, like, I mean, come on. Like, it's there. I'm going to take the opportunity. Yes, it's Groot. And then Loki Prime. This is the one that I based off of the MCU Loki. Like, not any specific iteration, but, like, the color scheme and the idea of Loki. I don't really use Loki Prime all that much, but I do like the look of Loki Prime. Now, Mag Prime, for music fans out there, I'm sure you'll probably get this one right away, especially if you're into this specific genre of music, because the helmet is a dead giveaway. Daft Punk. Yeah, I am a huge fan of Daft Punk. I have loved Daft Punk since I was a young teen, and the fact that they have a helmet that is basically Daft Punk, I had to take this opportunity to make them in-game, which is why they don't have any capes or armor pieces or anything like that. Make it harder, move it faster. No, that's Bulbasaur from the hit TV show Pokemans. They were amazing in Tron Legacy. Yeah, Daft Punk, like, they are definitely a comfort band, like, not band, but comfort music group. Mesa. So Mesa is based off of Dante from Devil May Cry. There's a lot of Devil May Cry based builds. Like that was kind of my shtick when I first started, was like doing Devil May Cry based builds. So it's essentially the same between Mesa and Mesa Prime, but I added some other armor pieces to make her look a little bit more menacing and more Dante-like. So it's based off of Dante's Devil Trigger from the third game, because her whole shtick is that she's a gunslinger, and that's the same thing as Dante. Mirage is based off of Harley Quinn. I think I did the same thing. Yeah, I did the same thing for that, but I guess I added armor pieces for some reason. I guess I didn't really pay too much attention to what I did with her. Necros. The thing with Necros is this was my original look for him. Like, I tried to make him look as, like, edgelord as possible. But then you go to Necros Prime, and he's even more edgelord because he's got, like, bats coming out of his back, and he's got smoke coming out of his cave. Because, I mean, they made him to be edgy. I have to, like, take that opportunity to make him even more edgy. Like, to the point that, like, I'm literally cutting myself on the edge. So, I mean, like, bats, like, black and red, like, this is the epitome of edge. If you like that, I've got some Daft Punk impersonators in VR chat I could show you. They do entire concerts. What's the theme? Edge. What's the next theme? More edge. Yeah, for sure, Pirate Fox. Like, Daft Punk is awesome. Like, I absolutely love their music, and I understand why they stopped, because they've been doing it for a long time, but it's still kind of sad to see them go. Neja, I think I based it off of, like, the actual, like, because there's Neja and Wukong. I believe they're both characters from Journey to the West, which is a Chinese, like an old Chinese story. So I think I based Neja off of the actual Neja from the story. So I think that's what this whole thing is kind of representing. Nidus, like, I kind of went with, like, the standard elite from Halo. Because the way that the legs are and the armor looks, I tried to make him kind of have, like, a Halo-esque appearance. So I kind of made him look like an elite from Halo, like Halo 3 and Halo 1 and so on. But since his whole shtick is that he's an infested frame, it's kind of like a flood-infected elite from Halo. And this is the, I believe this is the deluxe skin. I don't have Nidus Prime, because I stopped playing when he came out. But now I'm back, and maybe I'll get him sometime. Nova Prime, just kind of took a lot of different things together and put this, like, lots of gold and bling and, not really any specific, like video game character inspiration. I just liked the look that I gave her. Yeah, like, and I really appreciate that, Ice. Like, there's a lot of, like, I put a lot of time and effort to Fashion Frame, which is unspoken. The end game of Warframe is, the unspoken rule is Fashion Frame is end game, so I'd like to put a lot of time and effort into my builds. Nyx Prime, this was another random generation. But I added a few different things, like the ribbon, but this is another randomly generated one. Oberon, so if Blaze is still here, mine is edgy with gothic colors. So this one, and it looks like I need to get rid of this cyst on his neck, but, because you can get infected by, like, a virus-esque thing in the game. It doesn't affect you, but, like, it just looks ugly. So this is the Oberon Deluxe skin. Like, because Oberon is, like, very connected to nature, so, like, that's why he's got all these butterfly-esque things on him. But this one's for you, Blaze. This is what my other Oberon looks like, and I changed the helmet to the deer one out in your honor. So, what I think I actually have a separate look for him, too. Let's see. Or that might be on my other Oberon. Let's see. No, surprisingly. Because there is a Syandana cape, basically, for Oberon that really fits this. I just need to find where it is. Do I really not have the butterfly wings? I could have sworn that I did. Unless maybe I'm going crazy. Plus, I don't remember what it was called either, so looking for it is going to be a challenge. So I'll just, like... Oh, right here. I guess I don't have it. So You can also get some butterfly wings to kind of give like a magical girl-esque feel, but I mean the aesthetic matches the deluxe skin very well. So like I'd like to get that at some point so I can match that, but I don't really use Oberon all that much. But yeah, like that's my Oberon Blaze. Now that I've seen yours so many times. Let's see, where am I? I'm in the O's. Octavia, pretty much base colors. Like, I didn't really do much with her. And I have a second Octavia because I got one from Twitch Prime years ago. Because even when I wasn't playing this, I was still getting the Twitch Prime rewards each time. Protea, I think that was another randomly generated one. And the way I can tell which Warframes I don't use very much is by the fact that they have cysts on their necks, because that shows that I didn't even take the time or effort to actually remove it. So that shows me that, oh, like, yeah, I should probably go fix that. Revenant. So Revenant is based off of the sentient Eidolon enemies in this game, so I tried to make it kind of emulate that as much as possible. I think I added a few muted colors to kind of desaturate it a little bit. But for the most part, it's just the standard Revenant. Like, it's nothing too crazy special. Rhino Prime. Very sorry I got to get going. Had a blast to stream, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your night. Hey, well, see you later, Sarah. Thank you for popping by. Like, it's always great to see you. Like, you're awesome, Sarah. Like, don't ever doubt that you're awesome, and I appreciate you very, very much. But Rhino Prime is based off of Nello Angelo from the first Devil May Cry game. And for those who are not familiar, Nello Angelo is basically Virgil from the Devil May Cry series, but essentially corrupted and put into this suit of armor. And so I tried to recreate that as best as I could. I was on the old channel that I talked about earlier, I was intending to do a build video of the specific Rhino, but I never got around to it, and it's likely that it won't happen because I don't have any interest in it, but this is what that's based off of. Saren Prime, I don't have anything crazy for her, but she's the one I'm going to probably base Samus off of. And Styanax, or Styanax, however that's pronounced, I based him off of King Leonidas, the king of the Spartans. Oh, thank you for the subscription, Ice! That's much appreciated. Like, this stream has been so great. Like, it just, like, this has really turned my day around, and I'm really grateful for all of you, because, like, it just, today really sucked at work. I was having, like, speaking, like, with full transparency, like, I was having some PTSD flashbacks at work today, and, like, when I came home, like, I barely even had the energy to start the stream, but I wanted to because I promised everybody that I would, and, like, the subscriptions and then the donations, like, it means so much, everybody, like, oh, thank you so much. But yeah, like, I based him off of King Leonidas, because this is the Spartan Warframe. Because there's a Warframe for... Well, I guess I need to remove that cyst, too. But yeah, each Warframe has a different theme. So, like, I try to go with sometimes the theme, because since he's the Spartan Warframe, I wanted to go with a Spartan-esque look. So, what better look than King Leonidas? So I kind of took inspiration from historical Spartan armor and also the depiction in 300. So it's kind of a mixture between the two and a little bit of, like, bonus, like, light stuff. Like, say, for example, the sigil on the center of its chest with, like, the energy. I just thought that looked cool and added to the aesthetic, so I decided, you know what, let's go for it. And if Wiz is still in the chat, this one is well, they're kind of cut off a little bit at the head there, but there's not much I can do. This one is based off of Gardevoir, because Titania is the fairy-based frame, so I decided what better way than to get the best, like, one of my favorite fairy types in Gardevoir. And Titania Prime, I don't remember exactly what I based her off of. It'll probably come back to me at some point, but I know that I had a theme for this, but I'm not sure what the colors were based off of. I think it might have been like a Sailor Moon character or something. And Trinity Prime, I tried to make her, like, she's known for being the healer, but I also wanted to make her as edgy as possible. So, like, you don't expect her to be somebody who's going to, like, heal you from your wounds. Like, she looks like she's going to drag you to hell or something, but no, like, she's a healer. It's just that I wanted to make her look as edgy as possible to kind of like offset that whole point of her being a healer. I guess that's another Latios-based frame. I really liked like basing some of my frames off of Latios and Latios back then for some reason. Valkyrie Prime, we saw that one earlier. Didn't really have any specific theme for her. Just kind of like mishmashed a bunch of different colors together until it looked nice. Vauban, or Vauban, however it's pronounced, based off of Isaac Clarke from Dead Space. He is an engineer-based Warframe, so a lot of his abilities are based off of like engineering and different things like that. So I figured he'd be really perfect for the role of Isaac Clarke. So I tried to kind of recreate the engineering rig from Dead Space as much as possible. Like, so if you look right here, this is kind of like where your stasis module would be in Dead Space. And then Vauban Prime I just kind of left as the same. And Volt Prime, my most used Warframe. And for those Devil May Cry fans out there, you'll probably recognize him immediately. He is the storm that is approaching. He is the one, the only Virgil. I kind of tried to make like a Virgil themed frame as much as possible. So usually when I play, like I'll have like it's kind of a mixture of different iterations of Virgil, but it's more so based off of his appearance in the third game. And he's my most used frame because I'll usually bring out the Nikana Prime and use his speed. So my Volt is not just an appearance Virgil, he is quite literally Virgil in this game, and Blazing can vouch for me because I just go in and I erase everything with how fast I am. I missed the beginning. Did you make these in some program or did you edit them in game? So basically, all of these are in game. So you have to get a lot of color palettes and different like attachments and so on. But you do this all in game. And then we've got Wisp. Again, I'm not sure what I based Wisp off of. I think it was just random colors again. But yeah, like, looking at Wisp, you can tell they knew the audience that they were going for. Because, like, you know, I'm teased about my thighs, but just look at Wisp, like, damn. But still, even for a random color, like, set of colors, I think I did pretty well. Like, I think it contrasts pretty good. My original Wukong, not sure what, like, I think that's another Latios-themed one. Not sure what this Wukong was. But my Wukong Prime, on the other hand, which is probably my second most used frame, is based off of Ganondorf. And specifically Ganondorf from Twilight Princess. Which, if you look here... I had to burp for a second. This little glowy bit right here is the location of the wound that he got from the Sword of the Six Sages in Twilight Princess, so I tried to emulate that as much as possible. So he has like this smoky essence coming from him that's like the essence of evil that Ganondorf has. And this is the regular Wukong Prime skin, but this is the deluxe helmet, which has like a bunch of hair, and I tried to like color it as much as I could to make it look like Ganondorf. And he's one of my most used frames, and I think he looks pretty good. Fetish. Low got mod. Yeah, it's the auto mod. I can actually fix that. So auto mod like resets itself almost every time, so I have to like do that every single time. But yeah, like I was able to get the hair and everything, and a little bit of the beard, and the green skin of a Gerudo face, and or Ganondorf rather. But Zaku was just another random one. Like I just kind of like did whatever, because I don't really like Zaku is another one that I just couldn't get into. Like I just don't like their abilities. Like some of them look cool in theory, but their abilities just are not for me. Another Latios theme frame. Well, you can see where a lot of my inspirations came from the Pokemon franchise. Zephyr Prime, also Edge, but the color scheme is basically the same as her regular one, but I added the bats and stuff. But that's all of my Warframes. But my go-to, I'm gonna do 1 or 2 more missions and then I'll call the stream. But is there any specific frame that you want to see me use, chat? Because if you want to, I can pull that out and I can do a mission with it, and a mission or 2 if you want to see more than one. Because I have most of them. There's like these ones down here are the only like some of them I've had in the past, like regular Frost I've mastered him, I don't need him. But like this one and then this one I don't have. Because these were all added after I had left the game for 3 years. Like Sevagoth, and which sounds like an Aleister Crowley-esque demon. This is the frickin' frame from Wave Rider that's essentially an anime magical girl. Werewolf Warframe. But yeah, like, if there's any specific one you want to see me run, I'll do that, and I'll do a couple missions with that, and then I'll call it the stream. Though I do realize that some of you probably came in after the fact, so I'll just kind of scroll through, like, slowly. Let me see. You know what? Just because I mentioned Virgil, do you have the Gunslinger? Yes, Mesa Prime. So I can bring out Mesa. And let me get my sword, too, because... oh, wait, no, it's not that one. It's, Grand Prime. Yeah, so I can run a mission with Mesa, and then after that I can run a mission with Virgil, so... Because I think, like, it's hard for me to describe how insane my Volt can be until you see it physically on the stream. So I'll run a mission with Mesa, and then I'll go do Volt, because Volt would be a good ending. Hey, I have that Rebellion sword on my Wisp. Yeah, like, I like the look of this, of that skin specifically, because it feels like a real, like, Claymore or German broadsword. It's not as sci-fi-esque, and it really does look like Dante's sword. So I will do a defense on Saturn, because defense is usually pretty good, as far as, like, getting, like, XP and resources and whatnot. Let's see. Oh. It's like, well, don't tell me that there's no squads and then just immediately, like, kick me. Like, or, I guess I left the squad, but that's beside the point, but... So, I do have a few tricks up my sleeve for my Mesa, that, especially, like, newer players in the chat probably aren't aware of. There are things called augment mods that you can get, where... Ooh, what is that thing that she's using? Saren. But anyway, there are things called augment mods you can get, which will let you do certain special abilities with your frames. Like, so, say for example, you've got, like... So, Gunslinger. Like, usually when you use Gunslinger as Mesa, you are stationary and you cannot move from the spot you're in. However, I have an augment mod that lets me move with Mesa while I shoot. So, like, the moment that an enemy appears on screen, they're dead. Like, I don't even see them, they're just dead. Yeah, because usually if you just have the standard Mesa without the augment mod, you're just stationary and aiming. But with the augment mod, I can roll around. I can't sprint or jump, but I can roll. And that enhanced mobility allows me to basically erase a map of enemies. It's basically free aimbot. Only problem is that the energy consumption rate is really high. And I could look at that and potentially make it better, but I haven't really messed with my Mesa build in quite a long time, so... That is her ultimate attack, so I don't really know, like, how to use a lot of Mesa's abilities. It's really just that specific one that I know how to use properly. And then, of course, I've got Aklex Prime, which I based off of Ebony and Ivory from Devil May Cry. So this is like a fully a Dante build that I'm using right now. But yeah, my Aclex Prime is pretty nasty. Like, it can kill a lot of high-level enemies. But I've also formed it like 5 or 6 or 7 times. Yeah, I can even do it in midair too, so. So, if I were able to find an enemy... Problem is, they'll probably kill the enemy before I even see them. But I do want to try doing it in midair, just because that sounds cool. Oh, I forgot to place a turret down.
Deploying sentry gun. Stand by.
Okay. Just like that. A solo defense would have been perfect for the mid-air ult. Yeah, I think like I just like instinctively went to a public, because I do like playing with other people, like especially because like so many new people are getting into Warframe. I like to, because like I think with a lot of games have this stereotype where like the higher level players are generally like egotistical and hostile, especially in like MMOs. But I try to be the opposite. I want to be like that high-level player that's helpful and like people can look up to and like feel safe around. Like I want to like turn around that stereotype of like a high-level player being just an ass. Because that's why I like to give away my Prime parts that I have that I don't need. Like I usually just give them away. I don't need any platinum. Not that I'm just going to be a charity service, but like I like to... If I don't have any use for it and it makes somebody else happy, then I'm completely content with giving it away. It was kind of the same thing with RuneScape too. Like in RuneScape, like I'm a fairly high level in that game. I would usually just give away high level gear to players who needed it, or I would make the gear myself and give it to people who needed it for free. Because there are people who did that for me in the past, and, like, I want to be that person that, like, I want to be the person that people remember for years to come, like, in games like that. Because, like, there were a couple people in RuneScape who were really nice to me and gave me higher level gear when I needed it really badly. So I want to be that person that people remember, like, later on when they're playing the game years down the line.
Reinforcements available. Do you choose to leave now or continue fighting?
That person was really quick to leave, but as soon as they realized everyone wanted to stay. Yeah, I think I'll stay for 5 more waves and then I'll get my virtual build out, and then I'll do a survival for that one specifically. Because survival, the enemy spawn rates are a lot higher. But yeah, that really goes for everybody in chat, like Pirate Fox especially. Like, anyone in chat who's playing Warframe and needs, like, somebody to, like, help them get through stuff, or, like, a player that will help guide them through some of the higher level stuff, like, I'm definitely willing to help, given that I have the time to do so. Because as you can see, I can basically erase a room of Grineer. And Graham Prime that I'm using right now is actually the strongest melee sword in the entire game. So, yeah, I love helping others, especially in games like this. Yeah, I think what I'll do is, after this, I'll do a survival mission, and then I'll go to the simulacrum to kind of show off some of my builds, and then that'll be the end of the stream, because that'll be like a 3-hour-ish stream. Are those space goats? No, it's a space goat coast to coast. They're called cavats. They're like space cats, basically. So like you've got the Kubros, which are like the dogs, and the cavats, which are the cats. Whenever I go back to my orbiter, like occasionally you'll see my cavat that's just kind of chilling. It's a vampire cavat that's based off of Dio from JoJo. Like I mean, like surprisingly, I don't have a lot of JoJo-based stuff in Warframe. Just a few things. Like I would expect to have a lot more, but like. But I'm pretty content with some, like, where some of my Warframes are, because, like, if it's a Warframe that I'm not really using a lot, or I don't intend to use a lot, I usually don't put a lot of emphasis on the design phase of it. Like, I'll do something that makes it look pretty, like, appealing, and then I'll just level it up and never take it out again. Like Lavos. Like, I don't intend to use Lavos pretty much ever again after I finish him. Oh, where are they? I like how that Grenier was still talking even though I erased him from existence. Was wondering if you wanted to play more Warframe after you finish stream, but I imagine you'd probably want to rest. It'll depend on when you get on, Blaze, because I'm going to take some time to just kind of relax a little bit and unwind after the stream. Maybe get, like, a small bite to eat. But after that, like, if I'm still awake later, then absolutely, because I'm off tomorrow. And the only obligation I have tomorrow is I'm going to be watching Over the Hedge with some other friends. Because that's one of my friends' favorite childhood films, and I have not seen it in years, so I'm gonna watch it again. Yeah, I definitely need it. Like, it has been, like, this was the last like long shift at my job, and now like the shifts that I have after this are all gonna be chill, oh geez, what's the word I'm looking for? Shorter shifts. So I'm not going to be as stressed anymore. I mean, I won't be making as much money necessarily, but I think that's fine by me. Like, I don't need a lot. Like, I'm perfectly content with just, like, getting groceries every week, and that's really all I spend my money on. And bills, of course. Because as long as I'm happy, like, that's the important part. Because, like, when you, like... The thing with, like, retail is that you get really burnt out really easily. Especially if you're, like, dealing with really rude customers. Oh, believe me, I'm gonna erase the enemy, like, probably twice as fast. Like, Mesa may be just, like, disgustingly, like, powerful right here, but my Volt is... Well, you'll see. Like, Blazing has witnessed it multiple times. But you'll see why my Volt is just disgustingly, like, devastating. Volt Prime. Nikana Prime. And I actually named my Nikana Prime Yamato as well, so it actually... And I have a skin on it. Or, actually, no, I don't have a skin. So I tried to make Nikana Prime look like Yamato from Devil May Cry. Like, I went through the colors. I even added, like, this little stripe on it to kind of represent the stripe, like, the piece that's on the scabbard.
If I may say, operator,
drink?
Your chosen
yes, I shall drink.
Suits you. Ha, ha.
I will drink to all of the enemies that I'm about to completely erase. I was going to start with something chill, vibey, but definitely can switch over to play more Warframe. Well, thank you for highlighting the message, because I actually completely glossed over, like, I didn't see. But here is the Kavat. This one is a vampire kitty, because it's infected with a specific virus. Oh, thank you for the bits. Are you heading out, Pirate Fox? Well, if you are, like, again, thank you so much for everything. Like, you are the MVP of today. Like, really, like, thank you so much, Pirate Fox. Like, you made my night so much better, and I really appreciate it. So, you're welcome here anytime, like, my fellow Inochi pal. So, have a good night. And then this little guy here is Dio. He is my Vaska Kavat, and he is a vampire. Because there's like a nocturnal plague or something that you can get to make them like this, like they have bat ears and so on. But, let me see, can I... Like there's... I know there's an interaction menu that I can pet them. Like, yeah, there we go. My kitty. So, for those in chat, are you ready to see how disgusting my Volt can be? I will go to... I'm actually going to go to Eris, because that's where the infested are, and they die much quicker. So let me see, where's the survival? Oh, no, I went into public. It's okay, because I'll still kill everything. So... This is what I mean when I say that my Volt is disgustingly powerful. Like, even more so than Mesa. So let me slow this down a bit to kind of show you what it looks like in real speed. So this is what I'm doing. But I'm doing it twice as fast. So it's like you can't even see what animation is playing right now. It is that quick. Like I'm honestly losing feeling in my left, like in my left pinky finger because I keep pressing the left control to crouch. But, you know, there's a method to the madness. Like, it's a Virgil frame, so naturally I want to make him go extremely fast and efficient. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. Like, like Virgil frame, I can even put a shield on myself, too, so I can do this with a shield on myself. Like, I spent quite a few years perfecting this build, and I could honestly probably make it better. But like as far as speed goes, this is probably as fast as I can make him. But let me just take a look at the enemy count that I've killed already. I have already killed 167 enemies, and it's only been 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Yeah, epilepsy warning if anybody has issues with like flashing lights and stuff, because this is how I play Volt. Like anytime I'm in a survival or anything, like I just do this because I can erase everything on the map. I'll probably only stick around for like 5 minutes because it seems like that, like maybe 10. I think 10's appropriate enough. Gotta prep, so I'll catch you later. Alright, Blaze, well, I might be hanging out with you later. Depends on how I feel, I'll let you know. I don't have to go to work tomorrow, so I don't have to worry about, like, going to bed at a specific time, but I do need to rest up a little bit before I do anything else, so I'll let you know. But this is what it is from my perspective. Like, I'm going so fast, I'll sometimes get jammed on the door. And I have glitched through the wall multiple times. I have fallen into the void, quite literally, because I'm going so fast. Okay, that's enough. That's enough of me doing that. So I'm gonna switch back to the Shedu. But it's like, that's kind of what I go for. Like, a certain theme or, like, a certain character, like, I'll base, like, the builds around that. The colors, and how they function. But for the most part, like, lately, like, ever since, like, 2020, like, when I stopped playing, like, my focus, like, the main thing that I would use is the Shedu, the Aglex Prime, and then the Paracesis. But the Nikana Prime, which is what I'm using right now, was my go-to weapon for the longest time. At what point do we question if it's still fun? Right? Like, and I think that's why I really appreciate, like, the new features of Warframe, like, slowing down the gameplay a lot. Because, for the most part, for years, Warframe was literally just this. Like, you'd go into a mission, you'd get, like, all of your overpowered gear. Oh, it looks like that guy wants to leave. And then you just go burr. Like, I'm going so fast, I can't even land where I want to land. But yeah, like, they added this, like, this, for example, like your pilot, basically, and it slows down the gameplay a lot. Like, and then my pilot, the Drifter, is based off of kind of like a Desert Ranger-esque vibe. Like, the bits on the side there, like solar panels to kind of keep his oxygen tank and, like, water supplies, like, functional. Like, there isn't, that's not actually there, but, like, that's what I kind of, like, headcanon-wise. And the two swords are, because he's a Drifter, he's gonna have, like, two weapons on his back, so I figured that it would look kind of like that. And then he's got this mask on. Oh, there he go. Yeah, I'll go to the extraction point now. Because I think that other guy was just getting fed up with, like, how I've just killed everything. And that's how I exit missions. Oh, it's just, like, it's so fun to show that off, because, like, I've spent so much time working on it, and now I get to actually properly show it off. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the simulation room, which is called the Simulacrum, where I can essentially spawn any enemy that I've scanned, and I can test out different weapon builds. But just to kind of, it's just so I can give kind of example to the chat members who played Warframe before, just like what I've done with my builds. To kind of show like how powerful some of this stuff actually is, because when you're killing, like, level 20 and 30 enemies, it's like, okay, that's impressive, but what if I up the ante and make the enemies up to level 170? Which is what I'm going to do. So, I will spawn... Oh, it looks like I've still got the same amount of enemies, so... Basically, it's kind of like a training room area where you can spawn any enemies that you found within the game, that you've scanned, and you can fight a ton of them at the same time. But these enemies are some of the strongest armor-wise, corrupted heavy gunners. They've got a lot of armor. But how about I go burr on them? Yeah, so that is how insane it can get. But I do want to showcase the other two weapons before I end the stream, so I'm going to have to spawn more. So the Shedu, the arm cannon that I showed off. It has splash damage, and it also negates certain enemy resistances as well. So, usually like 2 magazines worth, which is about like 14 shots, can take out enemies like up to and above level 170. And since this has infinite ammo and it reloads fairly quickly, it is devastating. Okay, so that enemy set is dead. So, last but not least, I'll be showing off the Aclex Prime, which is the essentially two dual deagles. So this one I have put there's these things in this game called Forma, which basically whenever it gets to level 30, you can reset the level but add more mod capacity to the weapon. So whenever that happens, you're able to basically make it more and more powerful each time you Forma. So this one, the Aclex Prime, let me see my arsenal here. I have Forma'd how many times? 7 times. The Shedu I have Forma'd 5 times, and the Yamato I have Forma'd once. But, last but not least, the Aclex Prime. Now these are perfect headshots, so obviously this is going to be a lot easier if I get perfect headshots every time, but even body shots work. Like, it's not as effective, but it still will erase their health within 2 magazines worth. And the fact is that you won't encounter level 170 enemies in normal gameplay anyway, unless you're doing one of the special modes like the Steel Path. But it's like, the fact that I can just do this shows you just like how much time and effort you can put in this game and just get insane. And that, my lovely chat, is why I call this the Virgil frame. And I think that's an appropriate end to the stream. So I'm going to go up here, pull out my trusty Shawzin, play a few tunes, while I look for somebody to raid out to. Okay, so it looks like Blaze has just started his stream. He was in the chat earlier, so Blaze looks like he's about to start something Chronicles. I can't pronounce the first part of the name. Blaze is a really good friend of mine, probably one of the sweetest people I know, amazing voice actor, probably the best Ed from Ed, Edd n Eddy impressionist I've ever heard. So let me find a good song that I can play while we head out, shall we? Let's do Smiles from Jurin. So, I'm going to go ahead and raid out to Prismatic Blaze. Give him all of your love. And I will be seeing you all in the next stream. And again, thank you all so much today. This really turned my day around, and I'm going to sleep good tonight. So thank you all so much. And let me type in his name correctly, because I don't have my glasses on, so I gotta make sure that I'm typing in his name right so I don't raid out to like Prismatic something else. So, if you want to join for the raid, I'm more than happy to have you join me for the raid. If not, I'll be seeing you all later. So thank you all for joining me in my realm tonight, and I will be seeing you next time. Bye-bye!